Welcome to TBN Game Day Live, your St. James football pregame show. I'm alongside Zachary Wilson with Isaac Willits and Jonathan May. My name is Will Nichols. Let's talk about some of the St. James events last week and upcoming events as well. First of all, girls sub-state volleyball kicks off tomorrow. Boys soccer playoffs also begin Tuesday at home, so go out and support the St. James teams as they begin their playoff push. Both those events obviously are Acacia events, so students do have to pay, so just keep that in mind as well. Girls golf also this past week took second in state. Great effort by the girls. Last week, St. James in football won 30-10 against Capon, getting their second straight win. It was a dominant performance by the boys. Frankie McGinney at quarterback played a really good game for St. James. Jonathan, what do you think was kind of the key for St. James in that big one?
I think it was the ability to stop the run. I know we talked a lot about it on the broadcast, and we talked a little bit before the game how I was a little bit concerned that big 6'3", 215 Cal Purvis was just going to kind of run all over the Thunder defense, as we've seen some other skilled running backs do this year, Aquinas, Blue Valley Northwest. But the defensive line and the linebackers really held their own. They did a very nice job containing the run, and that's something that they've been a little bit lacking at the beginning of this season, and so it's really nice to see them make that noticeable step forward and really have a dominant game that had Capon off their rhythm, frankly. They were not able to get to third and shorts. They were in multiple third and longs. And then all that defense was just creating great field position for the offense, and they were able to take advantage. It really was a great game overall, but that defensive front, all those guys in the box, really, really impressed me last week.
Yeah, as Johnny said, it was a great game. I think the Thunder dominated from start to finish, but I think Frankie McGinney and the offense was the key here. Is just his first start on the road, just his third start in general. And, yeah, he played great, put up 30 points. He made a mistake or interception early, but adjusted to that wind, threw a couple touchdowns, and then the defense had some great fourth down stops. So, yeah, great game by the Thunder.
Absolutely, definitely a big win for the Thunder last week against Capon, really important for the playoffs. We'll talk about that a little bit later. This week, St. James plays Blue Valley West. That's going to be their last game of the regular season. Zach, what do you think kind of are the keys for St. James in this battle against the Jaguars?
Of course, you got to look to contain Tate Nagy. You know how elusive he is. You know how elusive he can be getting receivers open downfield and stuff and scrambling all over the place. They put up 53 points on us last year, so it's definitely going to be a shootout. It's just going to be interesting to see who can come out on top.
Yeah, absolutely. Last year was a big shootout, and containing that Jaguars offense is going to be really important. What do you think St. James needs to do on the offensive end to continue some of their success in the last few weeks?
I just think they need to keep going with what they've been doing. It seems to be working. Like we talked about last week, Frankie really looks like he's settled down in that quarterback role and is clicking with all his star receivers. And so I think they just need to keep the offense simple, keep giving him the calls to make easy throws, to make easy reads, look for your playmakers over the middle of the field, that short pass game that we've seen this season that's been so lethal. I think they need to really make sure that continues into the playoffs. And then the offensive line as another aspect that I think has gotten a lot better as this season has gone out. And if they can continue to give McGinney time back there and allow some good running room for John, I think our offense is kind of firing on all cylinders. And I think that any 5A team we play, we have a chance to win.
Absolutely. Isaac, what do you think, St. James, they got the playoffs next week. What do you think you want to see St. James really hone in on in this last regular season game before playoff time?
I think, as Johnny said, the O-line, right? Nate Bryant will be starting the rest of the way. Luke Neff now done for the year. So, yeah, the O-line needs to be there, whether it's Frankie or Tyson playing next week. But the defense, the D-line's been a weakness all year. We really need a pass rush, really need some interior presence from that D-line if we want to make a push in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's been a really good unit in times for St. James. Also been a unit that has struggled some, so that's going to be an important unit for sure. Really exciting game tonight against the Jaguars. All right, now it's a big game this week for St. James. Even bigger, though, is looking ahead to the playoffs. Zach, can you kind of give us a little bit of a forecast of what St. James might be expecting next week in the playoffs?
So this playoff picture is shaping up really interesting for St. James, right? We're basically locked into the 11 seed, win or lose. Like, there's a little couple outliers there, but we're really depending on a couple huge outcomes from tonight's games to figure out who will be playing first round next week. And so it's looking like if everything goes normal, or like regular outcomes in most of the games, then we will be playing either Highland Park or Blue Valley next week in the first round. Of course, we've already seen Blue Valley this season lost by 10 points, and it is a pretty unfortunate showing from us. We definitely did not play our best football that night. So it'll be interesting to see what we can do if we get them in a rematch.
Yeah, and then that other team we could be playing is Highland Park, but I think Blue Valley is the one to focus on here. What would you feel like about a Blue Valley rematch? Like you said, Zach, this was a tough game for St. James last time, but how do we think that St. James maybe could respond if they did get paired up against Blue Valley in the playoffs?
I just want to see some more resilience and less mistakes on offense.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we had a couple botched punts in the game against Blue Valley that really cost us like 10 points. It really cost us the game.
Mm-hmm.
So we just need to be more fluent on offense and get consistent stops on defense and not let Blue Valley offense get bailed out.
Agreed. I talked about it a little bit, how I feel the defense really only gave up 10 out of the 20 points that game, and we lost 10-20. And so I think, just like Zach said, if we can clean up those rather brutal mistakes, when you muff a punt or when you snap the ball over the punter's head and they get the ball at the 5-yard line, not a lot you can really do about that. So I think that we have the capability to beat Blue Valley. It's just going to come down to whether we get in our own way in that game, because I really liked how we played apart from about 10 plays in that Blue Valley game. I thought we played not a bad game, and especially if Tyson is able to come back next week. From what I've been hearing, it sounds like he will return next week. I think we've got a chance. Obviously, I would rather play Highland Park because I think they're not as good of a football team, but even if we end up going against Blue Valley, I think we've at least got a pretty decent chance.
Yeah, I like the rematch against Blue Valley. Very beatable team, like you said, just some bad mistakes on special teams, offense. Yeah, that was honestly Tyson's worst passing game of the year. He had some wide open guys he couldn't hit, and that's not something we see. So if the quarterback, whoever's playing, is connecting on their passes and the special teams does their job, I think we can definitely win this game.
Absolutely. I think it's important to mention, right, we talked about St. James not playing well that game. Blue Valley didn't really play well that game either. They certainly did not play their best football. So I think both teams that probably haven't seen each other really play their best football in this one. You mentioned the quarterback situation. How big of a difference do you think Tyson versus Frankie is at quarterback for St. James in the playoffs if Tyson is able to come back?
I think it'll be a bit of disruptor for the offense to see Tyson come back and kind of just steal the show again. But, of course, Tyson's such a dynamic playmaker, led us to a huge win over Miege to start the season. And we've seen his talent. We know what he can do. And, of course, you got a little storyline with him getting injured against Blue Valley, coming back and potentially
revenge game.
Yeah.
Potentially stealing the show there.
Yeah, I think that the gap between the two and how the offense is going to run is less than it was, obviously, when Frankie first took over because he was new. Didn't really have the feel of the offense Tyson did. But I think it will kind of give a little bit of a sense of familiarity back, having the number one quarterback under center. His throwing ability is better than Frankie's, although I think Frankie's scrambling probably sort of has that extra level over Tyson's. But we have seen Tyson run. Obviously, he had the big touchdown run against Blue Valley Northwest, and he's pretty mobile in the pocket. So we'll see how that hamstring is feeling, how mobile he is, how much he chooses to run. But as long as the offensive line is able to give him time to sit back there and find his receivers, I think that the Thunder offense will take a step forward.
Yeah, we'll definitely see less quarterback draw with Tyson coming back from a leg injury, and Frankie's very good at that. But, yeah, Tyson is definitely the better passer. Even in practice, when he practiced last week, he was looking really good, even though coming off an injury. But, yeah, he might be a little less mobile, as Johnny said, but I think he'll still be able to sling it pretty well.
Yeah, certainly hard to speculate at this point. Got to take care of business this week first against the Jaguars. All right, so we've been spending so much time here talking about high school football, and over the
you miss it.
Be a lot more fun. Be a lot more fun. All right, we just saved high school football. Let's see if maybe they listen to any of our suggestions. All right, let's do our prediction segment here. Let's start with Andover versus Andover Central. Jonathan, who do you got in this one?
Wait, what are all our records?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'll start. I'll already start it.
Sorry.
All right, now it's time for our prediction segment. Let's go through all of our records through 6 weeks of guessing. We did miss 1 week, so we have 6 weeks of predictions here. Isaac is 15-15. He's in last place. Zach is at 18-12. Jonathan 19-11. So pretty close there for second place. I am at 22-8 in the lead after last week. First game we're going to be picking here, it's Andover versus Andover Central. Jonathan, who do you got in this one?
I'm going to take Andover Central strictly for the reason that they have a two-name title to their school, and I think they've got it against Andover. You know, it's probably a rivalry down there in Wichita. I like Andover Central.
I like Andover Central too. Of course, they've been the more consistent team throughout this season. But Andover's surprising people. I feel like it'll be close, big rivalry matchup, a lot of bad blood flowing. But I like Andover Central here.
Yeah, I'm going to go Andover in this one. I think close game, really close game, but I'm going to go with Andover in this one.
I got Andover Central. Made the state title game 3 years ago. They're a solid team.
All right, next one we're going to be picking here, Blue Valley versus Bishop Miege, battle of a couple of EKL teams. Isaac, where are you going on this one?
Obviously, Blue Valley. Miege is like, 1-6, so yeah, Blue Valley all the way.
Jonathan?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with him. It's Blue Valley. I don't think it'll be particularly close. I think it'll be closer than if they were to play week 1, but I got Blue Valley by 17 plus.
Mm-hmm.
I like Blue Valley strictly for the fact their defense is so talented and going to be able to really impose their will on the Miege offensive line, similar to how we did in week 1. So I like Blue Valley here.
Yeah, I think I'm also going to go Blue Valley here. Could be a fun game, but I think Blue Valley is going to get the victory in that one.
But probably not.
Other EKL game we're going to look at here, Blue Valley Southwest versus Blue Valley Northwest. I'm going to pick first on this one. Both teams enter with a 3-game losing streak going into this game, so both teams want to right the ship, obviously, before playoff time. I'm going to go Blue Valley Northwest. I think they're just a little bit more talented, so I'm going to go with Northwest.
I agree. I'll pick Northwest as well. I think that I agree with you. They're more talented, and if you look at the 3 games they've lost, they're against very tough teams, all 3 of them, so I think they bounce back, get a Week 8 victory heading into playoffs. Blue Valley Northwest.
Yeah, I'll also go Blue Valley Northwest. They just look better. Their point differential's better. Yeah, they look like a better team.
Yeah, I like the Huskies here, of course. Blue Valley Southwest had a great season last year. Really dominated Northwest when they played a year prior, but I like Northwest here to bounce back from their losing streak and get some momentum going into the playoffs.
All right, next one here, Lawrence versus Free State. Couple of Lawrence teams in a rivalry. Both are 4-3 heading into this one. Jonathan, where are you going on this one?
This was definitely my least clear one of the week, I think. I don't really know a lot about either of these teams, but I'm going to pick Free State. Like you said, well, they're both 4-3. It is the Lawrence rivalry. I just think Free State's going to pull this one out.
I like Lawrence here, actually. Banks Bowen and their offense have been really dynamic. Of course, he's one of the leading passers here in the state. So I think their dynamic offense is going to lead them to a victory. It'd be a shootout. It'd be a great game. I like Lawrence.
Yeah, I think it probably is going to be the most fun game of the week in Kansas this year at the high school level. I'm going to go with Lawrence as well. I think a really close game. Like you said, probably a shootout, but I'm going to go Lawrence high.
I'm going Free State. They've just been the better team the past couple of years. So, yeah, I'm going Free State.
All right, last one we're picking here for the high schools. We got Washburn Rural versus Manhattan. Manhattan comes into this one undefeated. Isaac, do you think they stay that way?
Oh, yeah, I think they do. Washburn Rural played some EKL teams and got absolutely killed. So, Manhattan won state title game 2 years ago. I think they're still a very good team.
Yeah, I agree with Isaac. I think they do stay undefeated, finish the season 8-0. Like Isaac said, if Washburn is going up against these EKL teams and not having a lot of success, I think an undefeated Manhattan team is going to be tough for them, so I'll take Manhattan as well.
Yeah, I like Manhattan. Of course, they're one of the 2 undefeated teams left in 6A along with Derby. They've proved me wrong prior this season against Wichita Northwest and other teams, so Manhattan defied the odds all season. I think they take care of business against Rural.
Yeah, I'm going to go a different way here. I'm going to go Washburn Rural, okay?
Wow.
And let me give you a reason why right here, okay? This is Sunflower Showdown week, all right?
Okay.
KUK State, I am not picking Manhattan. Not happening.
I respect
No
it.
shot.
it.
So I'm going to take
I
Rural.
respect it.
Speaking of that, let's pick KUK State right now. Let's do it on the air. Isaac, I'll let you get started. Let's go quick here. Who do you got? KUK State. Give me a score prediction.
21 at the minimum, 31-10. Go
John,
Cats.
One of the biggest K-State fans I've ever seen here. I think I have to pick KU. I'm also a KU fan, not as huge as Will, but I'm a KU fan. I think that finally getting a win last week against Houston is going to be good, hopefully helping them find their footing. Going into Manhattan will be tough, but I think they can face the adversity.
Sure.
Unbiased analyst here. I'm probably going to have to go with K-State for the 17th straight year. Not really
16,
thinking much on that
16.
one.
16.
Yeah, I'm going to go Hawks by 17, 38-21. Big KU win. I got to be honest. Jalen Daniels the GOAT.
You're getting clipped.
Should we pick
That's
the
fine, I'll
Nebraska
take
game?
it. I don't think we need to do that. They lost by
Ohio
49 last
State,
week. We don't need to embarrass them again.
63-7.
All right. Well, thank you for watching TBN Game Day Live. For Zach Woolson, Jonathan May, Isaac Willits, I'm Will Nichols. Now let's send it up to the booth. Blue Valley West versus St. James next on the Thunder Broadcasting Network.
what we're doing is okay.
Just 1 week after Chiefs Stars witnessed a Blue Valley West victory, St. James hope the Stars align tonight for their last regular season contest before postseason action. It's Blue Valley West and St. James next on the Thunder Broadcasting Network. And a good evening, Thunder fans. We welcome you into Stillwell, Kansas here as St. James looks to take on Blue Valley West, their final regular season game before playoff time comes calling. And we'd like to welcome you out here to Blue Valley West. I'm Will Nichols alongside Jonathan May. What are we looking for tonight, Jonathan?
Well, Will, the Thunder face a real challenge tonight in stopping the Jaguars' dynamic playmakers. Quarterback Tate Nagy, wide receiver Quinn Myers, and running back Wayne Carter look to be a real challenge to a St. James defense that has played well as of late.
Absolutely. This talented Jaguars team heads in this game with a 6-game win streak, including a very close win versus Blue Valley last week. Meanwhile, Thunder head into this matchup on a 2-game win streak of their own and look like they're playing their best football at the right time of year.
That's exactly right, Will. St. James quarterback Francis McGinney has really started to click with the rest of the varsity roster, and with his talent, that is certainly dangerous for opponents and gives St. James a shot in any game they play in.
Absolutely, and as you see here in front of you, this is the coin toss today. It's going to be presented by Quadic Wealth Management, Investments, Tax Planning, Retirement, Insurance, managing all aspects of your financial life can be overwhelming. That's where Quadic Wealth Management comes in. Schedule your free assessment today by texting GO THUNDER to 913-402-6099. You see the coin toss out there right now. St. James white helmets and jerseys, the light blue pants. On the other side, silver helmets, black jerseys with the red numerals and the silver pants. St. James will be going left to right. Let's hear from the ref now. So I believe Blue Valley will be receiving this opening kick. St. James, I believe, will be kicking off here. This is a Blue Valley team, Blue Valley West team. They lost their first game of the year, 25-21 to Aquinas. Like I said, they've been on a 6-game win streak since, but last week was a real challenge against Blue Valley, a team that St. James could be facing off against next week in the playoffs.
Absolutely. I'm sure we'll talk about this a little bit more as the night goes on about potential playoff seeding and potential playoff opponents. But yeah, like you said, Will, they've been playing some really good football ever since that Week 1 loss to Aquinas, who obviously is 7-0. They're the number 1 team in the EKL and in 5A right now. And they escaped a close one last week, a 35-34 victory over their big rival Blue Valley. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond to that close game. And on the other side of the ball, St. James looking to keep the win streak alive going into the postseason, still with backup quarterback Francis McGinney. We got to see how they come out against this tough Blue Valley West opponent and how they deal with the pressure of this game.
Absolutely. It's a big game for both teams heading into their final regular season matchup. Returners for the Jaguars here, it's number 1, Quinn Myers, number 3, Cade Wysong. Quinn Myers, one of the best receivers in the EKL, got over 650 yards and 8 touchdowns on the year, and he is back to return for the Jaguars here. Jack Bevitt with the kickoff. It is going to be caught in the end zone, and it will be stopped there. So Jaguars will begin their drive at the 20-yard line. The big thing to know with this Jaguars team, it's quarterback Tate Nagy. Nagy is a really talented young kid, obviously the son of offensive coordinator of the Chiefs, Matt Nagy. But Tate is a pretty darn good quarterback in his own right. He's going to be a really tough guy for St. James to stop tonight.
Absolutely. He's got a great arm. He can really sling that thing around, and he's very mobile. He will get out of the pocket and punish you with those on-the-throw runs. St. James really going to have their hands full trying to guard him tonight.
Absolutely. Watching him outside the pocket is going to be huge for the St. James defense tonight. It's going to be a read option. Give to Carter on the first play. Bevitt brings him down, gain of about 3. Bevitt had a breakout game last week against Cape and really showed up for the Thunder. Bevitt third on the team in tackles. Certainly one of the more talented guys on the St. James defense. You see him going a little fast here. 3 to the left, tight end on the right, drop back. And here you see Nagy rolling up in the pocket, already finding some space, trying to evade, and Boone with a great tackle on the sideline, tripping him up short of a first down.
And there, right there, you see very early on, the shiftiness of Nagy. He's able to move around the pocket extremely well, able to step up into that open area. Boone does a nice job there making an open field tackle, and they've got to be sure they've got some kind of contain on him. We're going to see that probably in a variety of ways tonight. They have to be monitoring him at all times.
3rd down and 2. They're going to give to Carter again. Carter, great blocking. Believe he got the 1st down there. It was close. Wayne Carter, one of the top running backs in the EKL as well. Over 800 rush yards, over 1,100 all-purpose yards. They're going to move the chains, say he got the 1st down. This was a game last year, Jonathan, big-time shootout, and you know both these offenses are going to put up a lot of points again tonight. Drop back, Dreiling rush over the middle, right through the receiver's hands. It falls incomplete. I believe that was Kion Lammers there, the intended target.
And I agree with what you said, Will. Both the Thunder and the Jaguars want to put up those big points. You know, last year we'd lost 50-53, very high-scoring game in the triple digits. Both teams are going to want to put up points, and we've kind of seen a little bit of that aggression with the pace that Blue Valley West has gone with early.
And Carter fought a lot there, took a lot of defenders to bring him down, but only a minimal gain for the Jaguars. Looks like he got 3 there. So 3rd and 7, this is where St. James defense really wants to force the Blue Valley West offense into here, 3rd down and long.
For sure, and they've done a nice job early, as they have done the past few weeks, of stopping that run game on those early downs, 1st and 2nd down, forcing them into 3rd and longs. They've really come into their own in that area, and it's been paying dividends for them.
Big play here, 3rd down and 7. Rolling to his right is Nagy. Looking to run now. St. James got him. And a great read on the outside. Jack Bevitt making a really nice play in the open field, and Jaguars have to punt.
It's a great first drive from the Thunder defense. It's exactly what you want to see, that discipline from the secondary and those linebackers, because those linebackers are kind of caught in a bind when you have a quarterback like this. You know that he's a threat to run, a threat to use his legs, but also you can't play too far up on him and let those wide receivers catch it right behind you. So really, it's a tough spot to be in. They did a good job there of trusting the secondary to cover, and they were able to bring him down.
Snap was dropped after a good snap by the punter, and it's going to go out of bounds at 34. Not a great punt for the Jaguars, so St. James will stop there. This first quarter is presented by Luxury and Imports, the right car, the right price, the smart choice. And now onto the field comes St. James offense. They put up 30 last week, and they've been looking real good in all of their wins so far this year.
For sure, and like we talked about a little bit on the pregame show, quarterback Frankie McGinney really is starting to click with this whole varsity roster. You know, obviously we saw early a little bit of hesitancy, just a little bit of unfamiliarity, which is to be expected, but he's really done a nice job of developing that pocket presence, developing the connection with the rest of the offense.
Now we're going to get a chance to see that here. It's going to be a pitch to Tujak to start. Tujak fighting up the sideline, gets 6. Looked like maybe could have been a holding call on a St. James receiver that goes uncalled there. So St. James maybe a little lucky. They get 7 on 1st down, now 2nd and 3.
And that's another thing we've really kind of seen blossom on the St. James offense is that run game. Last week against Capon, as well as the week before that, John Tujak has had very good games. The offensive line has really been doing a nice job at giving him good gaps to run through, and the wide receivers have been blocking well as well.
And now here's another part of that run game. Frankie Mangini runs out of bounds. Play made by Jake Gaskell to get him out, and a 1st down for St. James on just 2 plays.
It's good to see the Thunder try to establish that run game early. We've talked about this season how critical it is when you can get that run game going early, because that gives you confidence in those early downs, 1st, 2nd, to be able to pick up 4 or 5 yards. You don't have to lean on that passing game as much. It helps keep the defense on their toes.
1st down and 10 now at the 45, just 3 minutes into tonight's first quarter. It's going to be a quick pass on the outside. Caught, believe that's Wonder. Got a few yards up to the 49. That was Sam Neeson, with the catch. 3-yard gain for St. James.
I think that's a big part of why Frankie has really settled into this offense, is the offensive coordinator, Matt Joshi, has done a really nice job dialing up plays that just have him get the ball out quick. He isn't forced to sit back there and really kind of go through his reads. He's just getting the ball out quick. It's a nice quick hitter, and that really helps set him into a rhythm for the game.
2nd and 7. Here's another one of those quick passes to Neeson, and he dropped that one. Neeson, he doesn't drop a lot of passes, got 33 catches going into this game, and one of his first drops of the year right there. Similar script right now for the St. James offense as to what Blue Valley West just had, where they got a first down on the first set of downs. Second set, now it's 3rd down and 7. Blue Valley West had to punt the ball after a minimal gain on theirs. Let's see if St. James can get a first down here. It's going to be a roll to his right. Run by Mangini. Brought down, hard hit to the head area there. That's Lawson McGraw bringing him down. And again, similar to Blue Valley West, quarterback run goes for a few yards, but not enough for the first. But this time it looks like St. James is going to keep their offense on the field instead.
I like this decision. You know, you're past midfield. Blue Valley still has over 50 yards to go. And you know how the coaching staff knows how good they are and their ability to put up points. And they know that getting out to an early lead is going to be crucial in this game. So I like to see the aggressiveness here going for it.
It's going to be 4th and 4. There's just 10 on the play clock. St. James might be trying to get him to jump with a hard count. Let's see. They're going to snap it. 4-man rush. Plenty of time. Mangini's going to run it. He sneaks through and he gets there. Man, that looked like the wrong decision for a split second there, but great elusiveness by Mangini, and it's a first down for St. James.
I think this could be a kind of a tale of two running quarterbacks. You know, you saw Tate Nagy on that first Blue Valley West position use his legs a lot, and we've seen these past 3-4 games how Mangini has been able to scramble very well, probably a little bit better than starting quarterback Bishore, and that's just an element to the St. James offense that they can work to incorporate and help throw the defense off, give them a few different looks.
Drop back, 3-man blitz. Going to his left here is Mangini, trying to get out of bounds. He does at the 41, gain of 4 yards there. And you mentioned these rushing quarterbacks. Another thing that kind of links them is their size. They're both undersized guys. Tate Nagy comes in at 5'10", 155. Frankie Mangini at 5'10", 175. So they're a different sort of runner than a guy like Tyson, who's a little bit bigger as well. That's something that, you know, is an interesting factor in this game as well.
Yeah, they're a little bit more nimble, probably a little bit shiftier, which can be tough for those big linemen up front, changing directions like that. But when you get kind of towards those secondary guys, that size that Bishore has kind of comes into play there.
Tujak, not much going there. Looks like he got a couple on the 2nd and 6 run. Now it's going to be 3rd and medium for St. James.
You know, we really haven't seen much of a passing attack at all. I believe St. James has only dialed up about one pass play and it ended with a Mangini scramble. So it'll be interesting to see what they go with here on 3rd and 5, under 6 minutes to go in the quarter. Obviously, they want to pick up the first down. No big aggression yet, so we'll see what they go with here.
3rd and 5, man in motion is Bruggeman. Good pocket. Looking, the spy almost gets there, and he does. He finishes it off. A nice play by the Jaguars, and you know, we mentioned these running quarterbacks. That means these teams are going to spy these quarterbacks a lot, and whenever they try to get out of the pocket, they're going to have somebody right there. You just saw that on that run. St. James keeping the offense on the field. Another moment for an interesting decision here. It would be a 4th and 7 for the Thunder.
And like you said, Will, it's
going to be a face mask on the Jaguars, so it's going to move St. James forward. So what could have been a catastrophic play there turns into a positive one for St. James as they're now inside the 25.
Could have used a face mask like that last night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like you said, Will, with this spy game, it's just going to be really interesting because it's almost a game of chess out there. Mangini starts the drive with a few rushes, and then Blue Valley West goes to sort of this spy defense. So now it kind of shifts back to St. James's court, and how can they take advantage of the fact that they're either taking away a rusher or taking a guy out of coverage.
Ball at the 22. Neeson coming into the formation. Pitch to Tujak. He's got a hole, bouncing it outside, runs forward inside the 20. Tackle made. That's Jack North, leading tackler for the Jaguars, bringing out Tujak after a gain of a few yards. St. James looks like they're certainly holding on maybe a split second too long on a few of these run plays so far, but the refs aren't calling anything, and if that's the case, definitely not a problem for St. James.
Now, I like what St. James has been doing. We've talked a lot this year about how their wide receivers are pretty excellent blockers for the most part, and with this Blue Valley West defense showing man almost this whole drive. They like their odds on the outside 1v1, these wide receivers versus these corners.
It's going to be a touch pass to Neeson here, going far side. Not a lot of help blocking there. He got a few yards upfield before he made contact, but couldn't make a miss. It's going to be 3rd and short now for St. James. St. James, this drive taking a long time. This has been over 5 minutes elapsed on this drive for the Thunder. You mentioned earlier, Jonathan, we haven't really had that big play yet. It's been lots of small chunks. Maybe this is where St. James looks to go to the end zone.
Yeah, it could be, or maybe they just look to get to that 1st and goal situation like they've done this whole drive. It's just kind of been 4 or 5 yards at a time. And it doesn't really matter how you do it. It only matters if you end up in the end zone.
Play action. Chase is open. He gets it to him. Does he get in? Looks like he did. And he does. Touchdown, St. James. Parker Chase. Big time touchdown for the Thunder. It's his 8th of the year and gives St. James the first lead of the night.
Beautiful problem solving there from Mangini. Sees the pressure coming right at him, just calmly rolls out to the left, almost like a little bootleg action. And the chase comes right over the middle of that field, kind of behind those linebackers in front of those safeties. Frankie delivers a great throw right to him, and he's able to stretch it out over the goal line for 6.
Now the PAT unit struggled all year long, and it looks good there. Jack Bevitt putting it through for the PAT for St. James. So St. James 7, Blue Valley West nothing after each team's opening drive. That touchdown drive was presented by Smoothie King. Go enjoy a smoothie with a purpose. Visit Smoothie King located at Monticello Center in Western Shawnee. So overall, through about 9 minutes of play, a very positive start for the St. James team, looking kind of similar to how a lot of their wins have gone this year, where they've gotten out to a good start. Hopefully that carries over the rest of the game for St. James.
For sure, you can't get complacent at any point in this game if you're the Thunder, especially not this early on. And you know that even though you have a lead, this Blue Valley West, with how talented they are, a 7-point lead is nothing. Even a 14-point lead can be overcome probably pretty easily by the Jaguars. And so they've got to keep their foot on the gas. Defense has to be able to replicate their success last drive. And the offense did a really nice job at being patient and taking their time and driving down the field before getting a touchdown. So that's got to continue. They've got to be able to keep their composure on both sides of the ball.
Bevitt with the kickoff. It's going to be down in the end zone. Myers with the catch. So second drive of the night here for the Jaguars. We didn't see a whole lot of success on the first one outside of a couple runs by Nagy and the star running back Wayne Carter. Let's see if they try to open up the passing game a little bit more here.
Yeah, I think that's something that is going to come, right? We're going to see a few deep shots from Nagy. His ability to throw the ball is very good. He can really sling it. But the St. James defense, if they can continue to get pressure on him, those throws outside the pocket he is good at, but they're more difficult than when he's got his feet set in a clean pocket. So if they can get pressure back there and the secondary can hold for a few seconds, I like their chances.
We're going to have Carter going short side, not much there. Schreiner in on the stop, along with Dreiling.
Who did they fall on?
That's exactly what you want if you're St. James on first down.
Absolutely. We talked about it last drive, forcing those 1-0-yard gains on first down and forcing them behind the sticks early is exactly what you want, because it just makes Blue Valley uncomfortable. It forces them to kind of get outside what they want to do.
5 wide for Nagy, moving up in the pocket. Here's that deep shot. There was nobody in the zip code there. Looks like Luke Goodall, number 2, was the closest receiver there. Now 3rd down and 9. St. James had success on the last 3rd and long. Let's see if they can have some here.
Pretty good coverage in the secondary by St. James. It looked like he may have had Goodall, just maybe a bit of a miscommunication there. Goodall looked like he stopped running. But you saw the mobility from Nagy in the pocket, right? The pressure came Aiden Dreiling off that right edge. He was able to just step up, slide over, and able to deliver not a bad throw to Goodall.
So 3rd down and 9 for the Jaguars. Drop back, plenty of time, slings it, has a man. It's going to be short by just a couple of yards. That's Tyler Peterson, the 6'7" tight end, bringing that one in for the Jaguars, and now it's 4th and short. Tough decision time now for Blue Valley West. They're keeping the offense out here. 3 on the right, Receiver singled up at the bottom. It's Goodale against Skahan at the bottom in single coverage. Myers in the slot on the right. Now backing into a punt formation is Nagy. And what a solid punt that is. Hornback catches it, trying to reverse field. Let's see if he can keep bouncing it outside. Clothesline tackle brought down at the 38. And overall, St. James has to be happy with that defensive possession.
For sure, they've kind of thwarted everything that Blue Valley West has wanted to do. You know, the run game hasn't looked great. St. James has done a great job getting down the line to kind of cut off those outside zone runs. The passing game, the secondary has looked pretty good so far. Definitely look to continue that. Done a great job containing Nagy. So really, no complaints from the St. James defense so far. It's just the question is going to be, can they keep this up, and how will they respond when Blue Valley West eventually finds an answer?
1st and 10 at the 39. Pitch to Tujak coming near side. He's got some blocks. Let's see what he makes of it. He makes a whole big spin move there inside Jaguar territory up to the 42, and that's exactly what St. James needed for their first play, their second drive of the night.
And there it is, that a great run game that we've seen the past few games. And like I talked about, those wide receivers blocking, Parker Chase, number 3, Brody Bruggeman, number 1, who kind of led that edge. Great blocks that allow John to get outside and then able to cut back up for that big gain. So you love to see the offensive line, and in particular, those receivers blocking well.
Absolutely. Tujak over 140 yards and 2 touchdowns over the last couple of games, and both the winning efforts for the Thunder. Certainly feels like he is coming alive at the right time. Back to that QB power again from Mangini. Makes a man miss. Out along the sideline, that's Jake Gaskell making a stop. These first 2 plays looking very reminiscent of how the last drive started for St. James.
For sure. It's very clear they want to get that ground game established, and they've done a really nice job of it. Offensive line has been solid. Wide receiver blocking has been very good. And they're clearly content with just taking their time, driving down the field, and not really caring how long their drive takes. As long as they end it with 6 or 7, that's all they care about.
So 2nd down and 5, like you mentioned, clock dwindling, 40 seconds and counting in the first quarter. They're going to give to the backup Puhala. Moving forward, gets only a couple. Nice play made there. That was Jack Sells, the senior linebacker for the Jaguars, and now it's going to be 3rd down. So let's see, St. James does not have to run a play this quarter. They might just send this one into the quarter. Could also go with the play call here. Looks like St. James is content to send this one into the second quarter. So our score right now as we head into the second quarter, it is 7 St. James, nothing for Jaguars. Big 3rd and 5 play coming up in just a moment.
The Spark Center is where students can come to help with learning, enrichment, collaboration. So say you're working on a problem or writing an essay and you get stuck in seminar and you're like, I just don't know what to do. You can ask your seminar teacher or study hall teacher. You can come on down during the day. We'll solve your problems and you can get right back to work so that you can be more efficient and have fun at home.
All right, we'd like to welcome you back into the Thunder Broadcast Network here. St. James 7, Blue Valley West nothing. Today's second quarter is presented by BSN Sports. BSN Sports is a team supplier specializing in high-quality athletic apparel, footwear, and uniforms. Is a proud sponsor of the SJA Crimson Club. 3rd and 5 here for St. James. Big-time play coming for the Thunder. And I think it's a difficult decision here if you're St. James, if you want to try to keep this ball on the ground with the success they've had there, or maybe try to throw it through the air, more likely to gain 5 yards that way.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Obviously, they have seen success on the ground game. I think they have the ability to pick up 5 on the ground. We'll just have to see what they go with. A lot of motion early from St. James as well.
Drop back to Jack, incomplete. He tried to hit his running back on a little wheel route there to the right. Just a bit short on the pass. It's going to be 4th and 4 now. St. James keeping the offense on the field. No reason not to from this down and distance.
It's not a bad idea there from Mangini. You know, he sees the Jaguar man coverage, and as they kind of flood all those receivers to the left side of the field, it kind of leaves John Tujak kind of by himself over there on that right side on that little wheel route. Does a nice job just kind of swinging out there. Just unfortunate that John couldn't haul it in.
And in motion is Wonder, rolling to his left. He's going to Jet. Is it caught? It looked like it was. And it is. What a play by Alec Jet. The junior receiver hauls it in on 4th down.
And there's another beautiful play call. A little bootleg out to the left. Frankie does a nice job rolling out, delivering a pretty nice ball to Jet. And a great catch by Alec Jet, able to go down and bring it in kind of off the ground. And that sets up the Thunder in the red zone.
Absolutely. Just 6 catches for 28 yards this year for Jet, and certainly his biggest one right there on 4th down. Now at the 14-yard line, 5 wide to Jack. The bubble motion. Looking is Mangini. He's rolling to his right. He's got space in that direction. Space closed up quickly there. Only got a few, did the junior quarterback for St. James. Once again, that was Jack Sells making the stop.
You know, one of the things that I think could be often overlooked about Frankie is how little he gets sacked. He does a great job escaping the pressure, and you saw it there. He looked to Tujek as his first read. You saw him look over to the near side of the field. He was covered. And then the pressure came up the middle, and he didn't panic. He was able to just run to the right side, try to buy some time, keep his eyes downfield, and then ends up scrambling for a few yards rather than taking a costly sack.
2nd down and 8. Tujak motioned. Mangini's going to go QB draw. Looks like they were ready for it there. Not much there, just a gain of 1. It's going to be 3rd down for St. James.
This is something we've talked about this year, is this red zone efficiency. When you get in the red zone, you know, are you scoring touchdowns or are you only kicking field goals? Because that's the difference in a lot of these games, right, is which team has the better conversion percentage in the red zone. St. James obviously is 1 for 1 so far, so we'll see how they do here, because against the Smith Valley West team, even though the offense has looked stagnant so far, they could turn it on in no time.
Wonder in motion. Drop back. He has a man going to Chase. He brings it in. His 2nd touchdown of the night. Parker Chase, and St. James goes up 2 scores.
Just looks like a blown coverage from the Jaguars over there on that far side. Frankie does a nice job just sitting back there wide open. Parker Chase in the back of the end zone. I believe that was number 8, Lawson McGraw back there. Just looked like a blown coverage. Then the Thunder did a nice job taking advantage.
So Jack Bevitt on for the PAT once again, looking for his 2nd conversion of the night. Kick is up, low kick, but it is good. St. James 14, Jaguars nothing. Today's trivia question is presented by your local NIL sponsor, Athletic Solutions. Our question today is, in St. James' last win against the Jaguars in 2022, how many touchdowns did senior quarterback Blake Boydston throw for in the 35-28 win? We will have that answer in just a few moments for you. Like we said last time St. James was in this building against Blue Valley West, it was a 35-28 win. Already looking like St. James is heading for a similar result, at least on the offensive end. You gotta love what St. James has seen. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns so far.
For sure, and they've looked really comfortable doing it. They haven't really had to dial up anything special. It's just been their game plan, and it's been working. So credit to the coaches for coming up with a scheme that they know is going to work, and to the players for implementing it and making it work, because two offensive possessions, 2 touchdowns is exactly the start you wanted from the Thunder.
Very low kick here. Wyson gets it at the 5. Let's see if he can make anything of it. Gets it past the 20 up to the 24, so Blue Valley West offense comes on for a 3rd time. St. James done a great job stifling them on their first couple of drives, but this is an offense with a lot of playmakers that maybe we haven't seen get going yet. St. James needs to continue that sort of effort and intensity on defensive end.
For sure. Really everything has kind of been clicking for the Thunder. Their coverage in the secondaries look sharp. Their gap filling on that defensive line has looked good, and those linebackers have been playing really well so far, Jack Bevitt and Hank Schreiner. So definitely look to continue that on this drive.
RPO, they're going to keep. Oh, what a move by Nagy on the outside. Makes a miss again. Man, he is doing a lot of dancing out there. Gets a couple yards, but a much more impressive effort than the box score will show there. It's going to be 2nd down and 8.
You know, this morning in weights, Aiden Dryland told me that he was worried about twisting an ankle going up against Tate Nagy, and you saw why right there. The amount of moves that he put on Max Urquette was really satiating. I mean, it took about 4 jukes to get about 3 yards. And that's just, again, the shiftiness, how difficult it can be to bring him down.
Drop back now, four-man rush. Dreiling gets through. Nagy going deep. Does he have a man? No, he doesn't. He goes to his tight end. That was Peterson along the sideline, but solid coverage from Skahan forces another third down.
And here it is again, 3rd and 7 in their own territory for the Jaguars. Great coverage on that last play towards the top of your screen by Connor Skahan. Does a nice job just kind of running the tight end towards the sideline, not interfering with him, but just kind of getting his natural leverage.
7-man block there for West, and it's a first down. Quinn Myers along the sideline. Drury in coverage, but a great route by Myers for a first down.
That's more the offense we thought we'd see coming in, just that little 12, 15-yard dig route. Nagy just kind of effortlessly rolls out to the right, delivers a strike right to Myers.
And Myers, brother of Crew Myers, who was so good for this team last year, Quinn Myers, equally talented in his own right. We'll be calling his name a lot tonight. They give to the back up the middle. It is the backup there. Nice run of the few by Tate Miller. Well, Carter is the star on this team. Miller, he's got a couple 100 yards of his own. Really talented player as well. They make for a really dynamic 1-2 punch.
Here's Blue Valley West going with a little bit more pace yet again, trying to keep the St. James defense guessing, try to keep them on their toes.
They're going to go play action. 2 routes going deep are both of them. He might have a man. He does. Lawson McGraw, what a miraculous catch there. The toe tap on the sideline. He hauls it in for a big play.
That's a great throw from Nagy. We talked about the arm count. We talked about the ability to deliver those deep balls. And Ben Drury just gets one step behind the receiver on that one. Unfortunate, they're able to complete a very nice pass for the big gain.
Yeah, what a great ball. It was a toe tap as he stepped right out of bounds, or right before he stepped out of bounds rather there, and hauling it in. Back to the backup, Miller. Nice run, one cut up the middle. He is finally brought down, but he gets the first down, and now we're starting to see this Jaguars offense come to life.
Yep, exactly. This is what I was talking about. St. James has to find a way to not let that one big play turn into 2, turn into 3, turn into kind of a defensive meltdown here in the red zone. They've got to be able to say, hey, you know what? You beat us with that one big play. Now we're going to respond and get it back.
Go right back to Miller. He gets a couple. Requette and the rest of the defense bringing him down. Like you said, the persistence of the St. James defense after the big play is certainly going to be tested in these next few. It's going to be a 2nd down and 8, ball at the 10-yard line for the Jaguars. 2 tight ends with the 2 backs in the backfield, receiver at the top. They're going to give to Miller. Up past the 5, just short of a first down. Really nice run once again for this Jaguars team.
Yeah, now their offense is humming. St. James defense has got to find a way to lock back in right here. It is a 3rd and 3, so if they could hold them to a field goal, kind of with all this momentum that Blue Valley West has generated, that'd be huge to try to get some of it back on your own side.
Handoff again to Miller, and he is shut down there. St. James finally gets the stop they needed this drive, bringing up a 4th down decision for the Jaguars. You have to think they're going to go for it here with how they've been playing, but walking away with no points on this drive would be very disappointing for this Blue Valley West team.
For sure, and I agree with you. Well, I think they'll go for it here, and it looks like that is what they'll do. A great play on that last play by Jack Bevitt. Does a great job forcing Nagy back inside, setting the edge, and then just shedding his block and is able to make the tackle. Really nice play from Bevitt there. And now this is a huge play. 4th and 3. They're inside your own 10. How are you going to bend but not break?
I think St. James might have called a timeout right before the play started, and they did. St. James, clearly head coach Tom Radke saw something he did not like there. And now a big 4th and 4 play awaits. All right, the answer to today's Athletic Solutions trivia question is 4. Blake Boydston had 4 touchdowns in the last win here against Blue Valley West. Mangini's already got a couple. Let's see if he can hit that mark later on in this game.
He's on pace for it.
Certainly
2 in the first half.
Certainly on the pace you would need to get to that number. We talked about, Jonathan, we thought this one would be a shootout. Blue Valley West, they haven't scored any points yet, but they are knocking on the door, finally putting some up here. Certainly this is the biggest play of the game so far, and whichever way it goes, it's going to have a great impact on how the rest of this game goes.
Absolutely. You know, they've put together a very nice drive here. They're at the 6-yard line. It's 4th down. And like you said, if they score here, they're right back in the game. If not, you now have the potential to go down 21-0, probably without a chance to get the ball back before halftime with the way St. James has been slowly moving the ball.
Drop back. Blitz comes from Boone. Nagy evades. He has a man. He's looking. Still looking. Goes. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. What a magnificent play by Nagy. He hits his running back, Wayne Carter, for 6. And what a tremendous play by the Jaguars.
Absolutely, and there you see it again, just the creativity, the ability to extend the plays from Nagy. Runs in about 3 circles there in the backfield, being chased by all sorts of linemen. He's able to keep his eyes to the end zone, deliver a strike right to his running back. You just got to tip your cap to that kind of effort when you see it.
And PAT up and good for Jaguars. So 6:10 left in the first half here. St. James up 14-7 after a magnificent play. That was young quarterback, the senior Tate Nagy, making the play there. The Kansas commit looking really good on that one. And now Blue Valley West will be back to kick off. St. James, they've scored twice on both their drives. They want to continue that streak here. It's Joey Savada on to kick.
And if you're the Thunder here, the worst thing you can have is a 3-and-out, right? Because that gives this Blue Valley West offense, who has got into a rhythm, another chance to get back on the field before halftime. And it keeps the momentum in their favor most of all. If the Thunder offense is able to put together a 4 or 5 minute drive ending in a touchdown or a field goal, that really sucks the life out of this Blue Valley West crowd and, more importantly, their sideline.
Not a great kick. It's going to be caught at the 9 by Chase. Chase already has 2 touchdowns. Let's see if he can get a third. Dives forward at the 34. Nice job by the Thunder. That's where the offense will come on to start their 3rd drive of the night. You mentioned it just a moment ago, Jonathan, but I think if you're St. James, you're looking for kind of a longer drive here, right? Maybe chew a lot of this clock. There's 6 minutes left. If you can get this under 90 seconds or so and score a touchdown, that kind of feels like the best case scenario for a Thunder.
For sure, but it's also important to know if you have a one-play drive here, you're not going to complain about that.
Absolutely.
Even if you're giving the Jaguars a ton of time to get back on the field, points is what matters. It doesn't matter how long you have the ball for. It matters your score on the scoreboard at the end of the game. So they've just got to come away with points here.
Tujak running to the far side. They're running a lot of these wide sort of zone runs with Tujak today, and they're working pretty well. Got 5 on that one, making it a second and much more manageable now for the Thunder.
Exactly right, Will. Their outside zone scheme has worked very nicely for them so far. Their offensive linemen have done a nice job getting out there and leading the way for John, as well as those wide receivers that we talked about, how good and how important they are in that blocking game.
2nd down and 4. Ball is at the 44-yard line, or 39 rather. Quick screen. It's Wonder this time on the bubble screen. Ball is out. Jaguars got it. They tried to get the senior receiver involved, and he coughed it up. Big time play by the Jaguars. I believe that was a great play there by Blue Valley West, and they're going to get the ball right back, and that is really what you could not have if you were St. James.
Yeah, I guess a 3-and-out would have been the second worst scenario for St. James. Obviously, a turnover in your own territory, never a good thing. And now it's going to be up to the defense again. You know, I said this game could switch very quickly, just kind of in the blink of an eye with how explosive this Blue Valley West offense has proved to be up until this point. So now the defense is going to have the job of trying to contain them yet again.
Wayne Carter, he had a gap. He ran right through it. Hornback finishing the play nicely there, but still a good gain by Carter on 1st down. And it definitely feels like West has the momentum right now.
Absolutely. It's really shifted, and you could feel it kind of in the crowd just a little bit in front of us. They're a little bit more lively. And like you said, Will, great run by Wayne Carter there. It's a guy with over 1,100 scrimmage yards on the season.
Looked like St. James almost jumped there. Blue Valley West thought they got him. Refs did not throw the flag. Refs have not been throwing flags a lot tonight. Very consistent, but they're letting a lot go right now. It's going to be 2nd and 3. They're going to give to Carter. Burst of speed. Here he is. Makes a man miss. Still running along the sideline. Inside the 15. Inside the 10. And what a tremendous run and great patience. Wayne Carter is showing why he is one of the best backs in this state.
And there it is again. You see the talent from Carter. And I just have to commend quarterback Tate Nagy for going up in front of him and laying out a mean block. It's not something you see a lot of quarterbacks do, but it's a kid that will do anything to win.
And right there, a touchdown for the Jaguars. The finishing effort almost got the ball out, but not after Tate Miller punched it in. And suddenly, this game has gone from being a 14-0 lead to tied very, very quickly.
You know, this Blue Valley West offense, like I said, they've really come alive. The run game has been working tremendously well, and you throw in the pass game and the ability of Nagy to extend those plays. And like I said, now we're 14-14. Good news for St. James is, though, they have a possession now. They get the ball coming out of halftime, so they have a chance to get a good response in here and take control of this game yet again. They're just going to have to execute. They can't have a turnover. They just need to have another good, solid drive, get back to what was working on those first two.
Absolutely. I think St. James, they committed to the run game a lot already. I think you're going to see them commit to that maybe even more these next 4 minutes and 11 seconds. I mentioned it just a minute ago, and it still rings true. The momentum is definitely on the Jaguars' side right now. St. James needs to find a way to do, the inverse and get that momentum back on their side, whether that be a long drive or a big play. They need to find some sort of life here and not let this tied game get even worse. Svoboda back to kick off now for the Jaguars. Chase and Tujak returning once again. Chase got it to the 34 last time, a pretty good return. See if he can do that again for the Thunder. Chase is going to catch it now at the 5. Going to his right is Chase. Falls forward past the 30-yard line. 2 solid gains for St. James on the kickoff return unit. That certainly makes life a little easier on the offense. St. James will start at 32 here, 4:03 on the clock. They've had 2 pretty good drives on the first 2, both resulting in touchdowns. Last drive, unfortunately, Jude Wonder fumbling on his first catch of the night. Now the offense back out here on 1st and 10 for their 4th drive, hoping to end with a touchdown. West in their 3-4 defense. 3-man rush. Looking is the quarterback, Mangini, and he is brought down behind the 30-yard line. Sack and a loss of 4. Solid play on the outside.
Blue Valley West does a really nice job there in the secondary in coverage and as well up on the line of scrimmage. I talk about it all the time. The team controlling that line of scrimmage is going to have the big advantage in the game. And Blue Valley West got the better of the Thunder on that one. Well, even though they got him there, I feel like the Thunder have really kind of had control of it so far, but they cannot let that slip up.
2nd and 13. Have to get some yards to make it a more manageable 3rd down. Drop back Mangini. He's looking over the middle. He has a man. It's Sam Neeson, and St. James desperately needed a positive play, and they got it there. The strike to Neeson goes for a 1st down.
That's really been St. James' bread and butter this season, is when the offensive line gives Mangini time to make a good throw. Those crossers, Parker Chase, Sam Neeson over the middle of the field, kind of in that level behind the linebackers and in front of the safeties. They've done a really nice job getting the ball to that middle area so far this season. It's where they've had a lot of their success. You can kind of see between those 2 safeties that middle of the field is wide open.
They're going to give to Tujak going far side. Not much there. Nice play on the outside. It's going to be 2nd down and 9. In the run game, working a little less well for St. James the past couple of drives.
Agreed. I think Blue Valley West has made some adjustments up front. They seem to be working pretty well. And again, that just kind of goes back to the chess match that is one of these games of football. You know, one team does something and it works. Other team makes an adjustment. The team that was adjusted to has to adjust again. And it just kind of goes back and forth between drives. And it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top.
We're entering in on the final 2 minutes of the half here. St. James with just 2 timeouts. Jaguars have 3. 2nd and 9. And a little bit of movement there. Likely going to be an illegal motion on the Thunder. That's going to set them back 5. I believe it was a delay of game penalty, so it's going to be 2nd and 14. Like I mentioned earlier, it's been a game where we haven't seen many penalty flags thrown. Unfortunately, St. James has to back up 5 after that one.
Yeah, it's been a very clean game. Like you said, Will, the refs haven't really thrown a lot of flags, and that's been working to St. James' advantage. One of the things we've talked about, again, is how the St. James team, when they have been losing, it's because they've gotten in their own way. Penalties is one of those things that it's been nice to see them only have 1 this first half. You just can't let them start to add up.
2nd and 14. Tujak flexed out. Drop back, 3-man rush with the spy. Spy comes up. Oh, and it's dropped by Chase. It was good coverage by Wysong, blanketing the receiver Chase. And he darted off at the last minute, did Wysong. Chase was open, but couldn't haul it in. Now 3rd and 14 for St. James.
And I think you've got an obvious passing down from the Thunder. I think what's going to be important is ball security. You know, obviously you want to try to get that first down, but even if you get it to maybe a 4th and 4, 4th and 3, you get on the other side of midfield. Realistically, you're going for it. You just don't want to. You don't have to have a big home run play. You just have to get a good chunk of this yardage back.
Neeson motioned in. 3-man blitz once again with the spy. Goes to his tech down. Neeson, not much doing there. He is still on his feet. What an impressive effort. Moving forward. And I'll tell you what, that play looked like when Neeson caught that ball, it was not going to be much there. When the first contact was made, it definitely looked like there wasn't much there. In the end, it ends up being a pretty darn good gain for St. James, gain of 7 or 8, and it at least allows them, with the ball at the 50-yard line, to think about going for it on 4th down. Now let's send it to a commercial.
Congratulations to Reese Messer for being named one of 24 players in the country listed on the 2024 AVCA Girls High School National Player of the Year watch list. 4 National Players of the Year finalists will be announced on November 18th when the 2024 AVCA Girls High School All-American teams will also be revealed. Reese is committed to play volleyball at USC next year. We all couldn't be prouder. Way to go, Reese.
All at the 50 after you get past the 44-yard line in Blue Valley West territory. You know, St. James, they've had elite receivers all year, right? Sam Neeson and Parker Chase, namely the top 2. They have both had some kind of key drops, though, tonight for St. James. Jude Wonder also had a fumble. This is a receiving core that normally is a really reliable unit for St. James. They've been a little bit off kilter, though, tonight. Big opportunity for them to make a play here right now for Thunder.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like they are going to be punting, but there's a lot of truth in what you said, Will, because early on in that first quarter, they looked very solid, and ever since that Wonder fumble, this whole team just looks a little bit off. That's one of the hallmarks of a great team is how do they respond to adversity. And I don't want to knock on our team too bad, obviously, but the offense and the defense's response to that fumble and kind of the momentum shifting is why this game is tied at 14 and why Blue Valley West now has another chance, 2 timeouts to go, minute 37, to put up more points.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if there's an offense in the EKL that's going to be able to put up points in this situation, it is this one right here. This is the sort of offense that kind of can put up these explosive plays, right, with Tate Nagy at quarterback, a guy with a lot of experience and obviously the great speed, knowing how to get the ball out quick and also extend plays. Not to mention Quinn Myers and Wayne Carter, both as a couple of the best playmakers in the state. St. James, they need to buckle down here, like you said, responding to adversity, a huge part of the game. It's going to be huge in the playoffs. This is a great opportunity for St. James to maybe put up a little bit of a stand and show some growth in that area here tonight. Ball is at the 21, so 79 yards are needed for a touchdown for the Jaguars. It's going to be play action, big drop back, plenty of time.
He's rolling all day for Nagy. And he has him. Finally, he hits his receiver going cross field. Here goes Lammers. Lammers, he gets out of bounds at the 44. Hornback tossing him out of bounds. 23-yard gain. And like I mentioned right there, the creativity of Nagy, you're just seeing it. This guy off script is absolutely electric for the Jaguars.
Absolutely. You were just talking about how his ability to extend plays and his ability to create out of seemingly nothing is kind of unparalleled in the EKL, and you saw it there. Was able to scramble around the backfield for about 5 to 10 seconds, able to find the receiver.
There's Wayne Carter out of the backfield getting a first down. Already 2 big gashes, and they're into St. James territory. We said we wanted them to, St. James defense, to kind of buckle down here. They have certainly not done that so far.
No, they haven't, and it's interesting to see they've gone to only a 3-man rush, so they're clearly trying to drop more guys into coverage because they realize how good of a playmaker Nagy is and how good he is at directing his wide receivers, like you saw 2 plays ago. And even though you had 8 guys back in coverage, you can only cover for so long. If you let a guy sit back there, he's going to find someone eventually.
Play action, no, rather the handoff to Carter. Raquette makes a big tackle, gain of only 4. We have a minute left and counting. 2 timeouts for West. They need to do better than get just a gain of 2 on those runs if they're going to choose to give the ball to Carter on the ground. St. James not much of a blitz. St. James looked like they weren't ready. Pass caught, incomplete. Kyle Lammers again on the outside. He gets out of bounds. A few yards short of a first down. It's going to be 3rd and 3.
Blue Valley West, has really had success in the second quarter when they've rolled Tate Nagy out. They've done a really nice job at getting him outside the pocket so to where he is that dual threat, and the defense doesn't really know, is he going to run, is he going to pass, and the threat of that run, like we've seen on this drive, is enough to just kind of take the linebacker's focus off of coverage for a split second, and then he's able to find his man and end up with a big gain.
3rd down and 3. Give to the back. Carter got the first down and a few more. Now you have to think maybe a timeout here. Clock is still rolling. They're not going to go with the timeout. They got 40 seconds and counting. West has to be thinking about the clock here, down to 34 and counting. They have to get the snap off. 10 seconds off the clock between plays. Quick pass, almost intercepted. It went right through Luke Goodall's hands. And no St. James defenders were aware of the pass, unfortunately. If Hornback was not looking at the man he was guarding there and was looking at the ball, that definitely could have been an INT. Unfortunately, it's going to fall incomplete. Now 2nd down and 10.
And St. James catches a fortunate break there with the drop, and that also means the clock stops. They still have about 30 seconds to go, 27, 28 yards with 2 timeouts. They've got the flexibility to take really any shot they want.
Looking, going. Oh, my, what a catch. Skahan thought he had read it perfectly, went up and timed it just a little too early. Tyler Peterson comes down with it. 19 seconds are on the clock now. West will call their timeout. Man, that's back-to-back plays where it feels like St. James really could have had something in the secondary. Very unfortunate sequence of events. We talked about we wanted to see the defense buckle down a little bit. And I think, while Blue Valley West has progressed well, I think you've seen some signs of life both on the offense and defensive end on the last drive for St. James in both of those respective positions. But really, it doesn't matter if Blue Valley West can score here, because being down at half with how St. James played that first quarter would be oh so devastating for the Thunder.
It really would, because you come out in this game, you get a stop and you go score and you're feeling good, and then you get another stop and then you're up 14-0, and then you just get, maybe it's in your head, maybe you just get a little bit complacent, but then you have that turnover, and then the response to the turnover really has not been what it needs to be in order to keep a lead against a team that we knew was going to break out. We knew they weren't going to go 3 and out for this whole game. We knew the offense was going to come alive, and they really have in the second quarter. And this is a big stand here for St. James. If they can force a field goal here and only be down 3 going into half, that'd be huge.
1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Drop back. Looking is Nagy. Still looking. Time is ticking off the clock. Oh, what a move against Stryling. Caught. Meyer steps out of bounds. You know, he didn't get any yards there despite the impressive play, and he took 11 seconds off the clock, so I think that's kind of a net loss if you're Blue Valley West on that one.
Figure they probably got one more shot at the end zone here. You know, maybe a run is in play because they do have that timeout, but you got to think it's just going to be another passing down. And this one might play to St. James' advantage because Nagy won't be able to sit back there and try to extend with only 8 seconds left.
Tight end comes across. Give to Carter. He is right at the line. They marked him short. They said he did not get there. Got 4 on the run. And now this is where it is really difficult if you're West. You have 4 seconds left. That is time for one play. You don't have a timeout. So you got one play here. You are maybe a yard and a half away from the end zone. Looks like maybe just a full yard. This is a really, really tough decision as a head coach. Do you go for it or do you take the lead and take the field goal?
Yeah, it really is tough. These are the type of decisions that players, coaches, no one really has a great answer to because it's kind of one of those things. If you go for a touchdown and you get the touchdown, it's a great play call. And if you go for it and you don't get it, everyone's asking, well, why didn't you just kick the field goal? But I do believe with how their offense has looked in the second quarter and what we know from Blue Valley West, I think they'll go for it here. And I think it's either going to be a run up the middle with Wayne Carter, or they're going to try and roll Nagy out and make some magic happen and let him create. With only 1 yard to go, it'll be interesting.
They are going to keep that offense on the field. That's the decision I think I would make as well if I was West. Looks like Jack Cook is the man at quarterback. It's going to be a read option. Ball on the ground. St. James has it. Raquette has the ball. Is he going to bring it back? Here we go. This is the last play of the half. Nagy is the man he has to beat. He's still going. Rumbling. 15, 10. Can he get there? He can't. Oh, he was so close. Just 5 yards short for the senior D end. He was right there, and he couldn't finish it off. Oh, he was so close, and he just couldn't get there.
Oh, and I know he's going to be upset about that one. I know that he wanted that touchdown so bad. You see him take his helmet off in some exasperation. But what an ending to the first half. St. James with the ability to run a fumble back 95 yards. Honestly, credit to Nagy. Did a nice job just kind of forcing Raquette to slow down and was able to get brought down from behind. But that's not a bad response.
Yeah, today's halftime show presented by CatholicFaithStore.com, a local St. James family-owned business and a proud sponsor of St. James Crimson Club. We'll be back in the second half.
Kansas, this is TBN Pulse.
Hello Thunders, I'm Zachary Woolson. In this episode of TBN Pulse, we look back to when Luigi joined us for Homecoming Spirit Week, we joined the St. James Academy cheer team at practice, and Cooper Riley gives some insight on the Clay Target team. This is TBN Pulse.
Is it rolling? Hello everyone, my name is Luigi. Runway Dex was incredible. Oh, beautiful. It just really brought the entire St. James community together. And it was marvelous. Oh, so many good things. We did have a little bit of trouble at first, but oh boy, we picked it up. Upon my experience as being Luigi, I decided to put up a few tarts on the ceiling. Now they were very difficult to do because I had to put magnets on the ceiling, but eventually I got the gist. Mr. Warren helped me out too. If you ever need that, Mr. Warren is always there. Rainbow Road was marvelous, put together. I have a quote from a famous man. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. Thank you.
Jeez, Luigi, I feel that frustration with Rainbow Road. Thanks to Luke Topher for producing that segment. The SJA cheer team works hard to build up school spirit. Let's check in on cheer practice and see how they bring the hype.
I believe! I believe that! I believe that we! I believe that we will win!
Always love to see our spirit teams put in the hard work. That video was produced by Annie Conklin. Lastly, let's go to Cooper Riley to learn more about the clay target team.
I'd say this year, I'd say definitely win state, because we've won state every year I've been here at least. And then every year before that, we've won for 5-stand, sporting, trap we didn't win last year, and skeet. This is our first year not winning. So I think coming back for skeet would be huge for us this season. I'd say this year, for all of them, say Anthony Kamer, Cole Teager, and then Jack Rawlings. Those are kind of our big seniors this year. And then some underclassmen like myself, John Dold, and Dominic Potter. I'd say those are our big ones right now. Kind of make up most of our team. So when I'm setting up to shoot, I'm sitting in the stand. Gun is right here, broken open. I'm looking up. I'm trying to establish hold point where I'm going to hold my gun. Break point is where I'm going to shoot the target. And then in between that is where I want to be looking or kind of holding my gun. So whenever we get a preview of the targets, so you get a look at them, where they're going before you get to shoot them. So whenever you are pulling the targets to look at, you're going to pull them, establish those points, and you're going to try to figure out how you're going to shoot the target. So there's different ways. It's like maintain lead, which is you keep your gun in front of the target the whole time. Swing through, which is targets here, you're going to swing through that. And then there's also just pull away, which is you're going to stay on the target and pull away when you shoot that. So I'm trying to decide how I'm going to shoot it and where I'm going to shoot it. Just going to do that at each of the 5 stations. And then sporting clays, everyone describes it, it's like golf, but you're shooting. So you're going to drive around to different stations. Each station, you're going to shoot either the report pairs, which is throw, shoot it, and then throw another one. or there's going to be true pairs, which is throwing both at the same time. And that's basically all the sports. This season for myself, it's probably getting back to what I was, because got concussions from other sports, so having eye problems, so I'm trying to get back to what I used to be.
Thank you so much to Will Spencer for producing that piece. Nice work, Will. And thank you to all the students in the SJA Media and Arts program for making these segments, and thanks to you for watching TBN Pulse. I'm Zachary Woolson. God bless you, and go Thunder.
Okay, so right now the St. Joseph Fieldhouse, which we've called the multi-purpose building, our auxiliary gym, is open. Construction is complete there. We're finishing some landscaping, but it's being used already for practices and some games. And I think there's actually volleyball in there this weekend. So it is up and running and is great. We finished the initial parking in the back, which will allow all, or most I should say, of the faculty and staff to park in the back starting next week, which will make the sophomores happy because they're going to get their lot back. And tennis courts are coming right behind it. So if you go back and see the big expanse of concrete with all the posts sticking up, that's tennis. So it's going to finish curing for about a month, and then it'll get finished up hopefully still later this fall. And then they finished all the infrastructure work on the stadium. So you've seen lots of bulldozers back there and everything. We had to put all the utilities in, and those are about done. So they're finishing all that work, and the concrete should start coming for what will be needed for concessions and bathrooms and all those things. So everything's well underway, and I think the target right now is that it will be done in time for spring sports. So hopefully in March, the stadium part will be done. And then you may have seen the Cultural Arts Center sign up front that we put up, and we're working really intensely on architectural plans. It's a much more complicated project than throwing up a press box and bleachers or tennis courts or even parking lot for that matter, right? So it'll take probably 10 to 12 months to do the architectural plans, but the hope is a year from now we've got shovels in the ground up front too.
We opened the doors to St. James Academy in August of 2005 with an established mission of passing on the Catholic faith to the next generation while creating disciples for Jesus. 18 years later, that mission has remained the foundation of all we do at St. James Academy. With that foundation, St. James Academy has grown into a leader in Catholic education through excellent academics, premier arts, athletics and activities, and a culture that thrives through our community system and formation of young people. In the spring of 2020, the St. James Academy Board of Trustees and Administration began the process of creating a 3-year strategic plan. It quickly became apparent that facility needs on our campus were a priority, and the need to complete a campus-wide master plan was key to our future. This master plan created a roadmap for St. James. Today, we are sharing preliminary project plans with you, focusing on those that are a priority to our community. Our future is bright, and we are excited to share more. The performing arts play an essential role in the development of students. Music, dance, and theater foster creativity, confidence, and discipline. As our student body has grown, more students are participating in the arts, adding to the richness and vibrancy of St. James. The areas where we can improve are more evident than ever. Our dining hall is transformed each fall to build a stage for the musical, with a makeshift orchestra pit in the gathering space. Our choir concerts also take place in this space, utilizing acoustical shells to enhance the sound quality as best we can. For our band concerts, we frequently rent spaces off campus to allow for enough space on the stage for all band members. The Cultural Events Center will provide a dedicated, acoustically sound space for rehearsals and performances for up to 550 guests, with the supporting spaces our students need to improve their skills and to showcase their talents. A lobby will serve as a pre-theater gathering space and a flexible space to be used for all staff meetings and other needs. Additionally, our goal is to also move our art classrooms into this area of the campus to better highlight the arts projects created by our students. At St. James, football is not only a successful program, but also a way for our young men to build character, perseverance, and teamwork, all values that will benefit them throughout their lives. Despite its popularity, hosting varsity football games is currently impossible due to seating capacity of only 300. As a result, we primarily host these games at Bishop Miege. While we can accommodate most soccer matches, JV and freshman football and other sports with smaller attendance, seating for visitors is limited, and we must rely on the existing bathroom facilities in our science wing for events. The plan for completing the stadium includes seating for 2,500 on the home side, which is the west side of Clare Road, and bleachers for 1,000 visitors on the east side. The proposed press box will accommodate scorekeepers, broadcasting, and coaches. Locker rooms for both teams, a training room, and officials' restrooms will be located at the north end of the field, with a ticketing window attached on the west end of the building. Plans are being developed for a crucifix and other expressions of Catholic identity, including a grotto, around this area of campus, to be certain our mission is present both off and on the field. Our tennis programs are flourishing, but we face a challenge in finding suitable practice and game courts in the metro area, as many of them are being converted to pickleball. Our vision is to build 8 tennis courts on our campus, with the option to add lights for evening play as Phase 2. New courts will allow us to not only practice on campus, but the opportunity to host tournaments. This will certainly enable our tennis program to continue to grow. The City of Lenexa will require approximately 400 additional parking spots with the stadium expansion project to meet the city's requirement. Additionally, as we add to our campus, we will need to mitigate water runoff, primarily on the south side of our campus. Our debt is now less than $2 million, and based on the current monthly repayment plan, it can be fully paid off in nearly 6 years. This debt was incurred for the construction of the school and necessary renovations as the school expanded in the early years. Achieving financial stabilization will allow us to move forward with future capital projects more easily in the years to come. If we want to pass on the Catholic faith to the next generation, we have to do it together. We want to intentionally engage parents as the first forerunners of their children. We want to provide the facilities and programming that allow students to know the truth, choose good, and live virtuously in the service of others in ways we've never been able to before. We want to create new avenues for the amazing teachers in this building to connect with their students, partner with parents, and share their expertise and passion. The future at St. James is bright. We look forward to meeting that future together.
All right, we welcome you back to the Thunder Broadcasting Network here. Score is 14 St. James, 14 Blue Valley West. I got to say, Jonathan, that was one of the best, most entertaining at least halves of football I think we've seen in a really long time for the St. James team. And I'm really excited to see where this second half goes. To start here, St. James gets the ball coming out of halftime here. They have an opportunity to put up some points. That's going to be really huge for St. James.
Absolutely, especially with how almost all of that second quarter went. Probably 10 or so of the 12 minutes were in Blue Valley West's favor. We did have that great ending play where Max Marquette nearly returned the fumble for a touchdown, and hopefully that's some momentum that the St. James offense can use going forward. Like you said, getting the ball first, having the ability to go up 21-14 is going to be crucial in kind of reclaiming possession of this game back.
Absolutely, and St. James, they momentum against them all game long, or all quarter long really, the last quarter. That last play, hopefully a momentum shift for St. James in that defense. A defense, they did a great job first quarter. Second quarter, we saw some issues, but almost took advantage of a big mistake by Blue Valley West there.
Absolutely, and that's something we've talked about, how the defense can't let up. They have to get back to that first quarter form. And additionally, for everybody else at home, it is Will Nichols' birthday today. Everybody wish him a happy birthday through the camera. I know you can't actually talk to him, but happy birthday, Will. Love calling these games with you.
Well, thank you, Jonathan. It is an honor. We got about a minute 20 till this St. James Blue Valley West game comes back here on the Thunder Broadcasting Network. Current 5A standings right now, so you see it flashed up on your screen. We're going to be talking about this kind of a lot next week when St. James gets to the playoffs, obviously. But as you can see there, right now, Highland Park looks like the team St. James is probably playing at this point. Now, I think there is a scenario where with a win, St. James could get Washington or Blue Valley in the upcoming week as well. So those are kind of three teams you're looking at for St. James in this upcoming week. And really, I think all three are talented teams. There's not really one team, I think, if you're St. James, you fear a lot more than the other. Certainly Blue Valley, the one school St. James did play, not a great showing from St. James in that game. That would be something to see.
Agreed. It was not a great showing, but looking on the positive side of that, is it was not a great showing, really probably our worst showing of the year, and we only lost by 10 points, right? So I think that is a winnable game for the Thunder. If they do end up having a rematch, they're just going to have to cut down on those key mistakes and really clean up that execution, but I think it is a winnable game.
Absolutely. This third quarter is brought to you by Freedom Physical Therapy and Training Sponsor. They are proud to partner with the St. James Academy Crimson Club. All right, Blue Valley West kicking off here from right to left. It's going to be John Tujak and Parker Chase back to return once again for the Thunder. They got two good returns on both their attempts so far. Another short kick. Tujak's going to take it at the 20. Moving up the field past the 30 up to the 33. And I think if you're St. James, you really love the field position you've started in all game long. It has really helped this offense both off of punts and kicks. St. James has been in really good field position to start every drive so far.
For sure. Having less than 70 yards to go pretty much every drive, I think you're right, Will. It definitely is the advantage. It's just now they've got to get back to that first drive we saw in the first quarter. Moving the ball slowly but surely, getting those plays, picking up first downs when you need them. To march down, maybe take 4 or 5 minutes off the clock, but just get back ahead and reclaim control of the game.
First and 10, St. James, ball at the 33. Neeson is motioned. Faking the pitch, play action, looking downfield. Mangini's going to run for it. Only has a couple nice play made by the far side corner there. You see, these receivers just aren't getting open right now for St. James. Mangini is having to run a lot more than I think him or St. James would like.
For sure. Obviously, the offense plays better when he's able to connect with these receivers, but credit to this Blue Valley West secondary. They did a nice job there covering a little flood concept from the Thunder, and really they've had Parker Chase, Sam Neeson covered pretty well in the second quarter.
Going incomplete. There was a little bit of contact there, but a nice play. That was Luke Goodale. We've seen him both on offense and defense making plays for the Jaguars. Now it's going to be a 3rd down and 9. St. James, you saw those first couple trying to flow some motion for Mangini to roll the pocket a little bit with varying levels of success.
Absolutely. This is, again, what we just talked about. St. James on this drive needed to come out and put together a solid one to try and get some of that momentum back. They haven't really done it so far. 3rd and 9. This is going to be a big play here to try and get it either the first down or get it into a 4th and very manageable.
Drop back. Time goes to Chase. Not much there. Nice play by West. And St. James is going to have to go with a 3 and out here. Tackle made there. That was Lawson McGraw, the safety.
And it's a good stand by this Blue Valley West defense. You know, we've been talking about how St. James's offense has looked a little lackluster, but I think that's in part due to the improvement on this Jaguars defense. They've become much more stout up front, and the secondary has tightened up their coverage a little bit, and I think that's really giving Mangini some problems.
Cade Wysong back to return now for the Jags. Boydston, it's a fake. He's going. Chase. Oh. What a gutsy play call that was, man. He was open, and Boydston just overthrew him a little bit, and he knew it, man. That was a really, really difficult play for St. James. Great idea. Execution just wasn't there.
Yeah, really unfortunate because he was open, like you said. Well, I think Boynton was just trying to loft it over the head of that linebacker that was just a step or two in front of Chase and just overthrew him a tiny bit. Really sucks to see, especially when you know that it's there and you're just unable to connect.
Ball at 38 now. Jaguars starting in good field position, but like we mentioned earlier, St. James getting the ball a little bit earlier up in the field makes this a little bit harder for West to now respond with a touchdown. What great blocking for Carter on his first run. Gets about 4 swallowed up by the D-line.
I talked a lot about last week how the defensive line really kind of outplayed what I thought they were going to do. Their effort was amazing last week, and we saw that in the first quarter of tonight, and ever since then it's just been a little bit off.
There's another one. Carter, great power. Looks like he got right to that first down line. You see through 2 plays, the offensive line looking really, really dominant for West right now. Say goes up about a little over 1.5 yards short. Fans not liking the spot there. It's going to be 3rd and short the way this West offense is rolling. You got to think they're going to pick it up regardless. Drop back, Nagy, first pass, Myers caught. Skahan helps bring him down at the 25, gain of 5, and enough for a first down for West.
And that's just a simple, quick hitter there from the Jaguars, right? Quinn Myers just about 4 or 5 yards upfield, makes sure to get past that first down marker, just plants his feet and is able to turn right back. Great anticipation from Nagy to deliver the strike.
Now at the 25, drop back. He's trying to escape. Oh, what a move against Dreiling. This is where he's dangerous all day. Looking, he's going for the end zone. Does he have a man? No, he doesn't. Oh, it was picked off by Skahan, and it falls out at the very last second possible. Nagy took the shot, and it almost went against him there.
That's great coverage in the end zone by Skahan. Does a nice job of getting his head around at the end and finding the ball. Is in great position to make the catch or to make the interception. It's unfortunate the receiver's kind of hanging on his arm a little bit. No pass interference there because it's kind of anyone's ball. But that's great coverage by Skahan because otherwise that would have been another just very creative touchdown from Nagy.
2nd and 10, give to the back. Bouncing it outside after the holes were filled. Here he goes, gets the first down and a few more. And my, oh my, you are seeing why this kid has over 850 rushing yards. He is a real talent out there for the Jaguars.
That's for sure. Very patient run there as well. His first read is the play design is for him to go up the middle, sees that it's completely blocked, and then feels that, hey, there's no one to my right, and does a really nice job of bouncing it outside and is able to pick up the first down. And that over pursuit from the St. James defense that you saw really allows that big opening to open up.
1st and 10, ball at the 15 now. Just 3.5 minutes in, things going well for West. Give to Carter. Blocks are there. Hornback brings him back, and St. James needed a big play. The senior comes up with it there. Coming into this game with 1 TFL, he adds another to his list. Does Hornback. Flag is thrown right around the marker. West is going to be backing up. So 10-yard holding penalty is going to be the call, and St. James, they needed some life here, and this is going to give them an opportunity. 1st and 20, forcing West into a difficult spot. Maybe the defense can be a little more aggressive now.
For sure, because you can maybe send an extra blitzer without really having to worry about them getting a huge chunk play as long as your secondary is able to stay deep. And like you said, Will, this is exactly what we want, these long situations. You've got to be able to limit the explosive plays, though.
Quick pass, Bullet. What a catch there down at the 15. Skahan brings down Wysong, the junior, with the catch there.
And that's just a great route combo there from Blue Valley West. Quinn Myers, the lethal receiver, just clears out that area, and Wysong is able to just fill in right behind him on the crosser, and Nagy's able to find him.
Now the close bunch, it's going to be a give to Carter. Carter trying to go outside. Raquette chasing him down. Stutter step. For gain of 4 or 5. Now it's going to be 3rd down. St. James, an opportunity for a bend, don't break moment here, like we saw last drive for West. If they could come off with this drive ending in minimal points, that would be huge for a Thunder. Ball is at the 10. They have to get past the 5. 3rd and 5. 2 backs in the backfield. Both go out for routes. Devers is chasing him, almost gets his shoestrings. Still going, and that was a hard tackle. No call, and it's going to be 4th down now. Gain maybe half a yard. Kicking unit comes on now for Blue Valley West. They're looking to take their first lead of the night here with the field goal.
And like you said, well, there it is, that bend but don't break. St. James does a nice job of taking advantage of that holding call that forced Blue Valley West into that 1st and 20. They do a nice job of forcing a field goal and keeping this game well within reach. Now they can take the lead if they're able to get a touchdown on their next drive.
28-yard attempt by Svobada. It is up, it looks good, and it is. So Blue Valley West 17, St. James 14. Just 5 minutes into this 3rd quarter, Blue Valley West emerges with the lead. Now St. James offense, they've been stagnant the last few drives. They have to find a way to respond here. St. James will be returning the kick here with Chase and Tujak once again. You can tell this West team definitely has made some adjustments, both coming out of half and in that 2nd quarter, and St. James has to find a way to adjust back to those adjustments if they want to regain this lead.
For sure, I'd love to see them kind of get that ground game going in. That's really what spurred those 14 points that we saw in that 1st quarter. And I think this really is a key drive for the Thunder, because if they are forced into another 3 and out, then you've got the potential to go down 10 points, and now the game is starting to get out of reach, especially with how Blue Valley West has been playing. But if you can go down, even just tying it here, keeping it close, reminding Blue Valley West, hey, we're still here, that's exactly what you need.
Lawson McGraw, new kicker for the kickoff, and it's a good kick there. Caught at the 4 by Tujak. That's going to make it harder down at the 20. That is where St. James will begin. So they've had good field position the last few drives. This time going to start at the 20-yard line. They got 80 yards to go. Let's see if they establish that ground game like you wanted, Jonathan. It's going to start with John Tujak, the star running back for this team.
Absolutely. He's going to have to really get those wheels churning under him, try to find a gap and hit it hard, and that offensive line is going to have to find a way to start clearing the runway for him. Again, we saw it in the 1st quarter. Haven't really seen it since. And with only 3 down linemen from the Jaguars, you got to think you can maybe get some double teams up front and try to get a nice little gap.
Running outside again, not much there. Wysong with the first contact, and Ben McDavid finished him off. So not much there. St. James, they keep trying to run outside the sticks, and it's just not working right now. Gain of only 1 on that carry.
For sure, Blue Valley West, like you said, Will, really has done a nice job making adjustments to take away those outside runs. Their blockers just seem to be shedding blocks a lot easier. They seem to have an extra guy out there to turn the running back inside. So St. James probably going to have to get that pass game going a little bit more.
3-man blitz once again. Pocket collapses. Mangini, he's outside the pocket. He has some room to run. He gets the first down. That was Sam Clay, the senior linebacker, bringing him down, but not after a first down gain for Mangini.
And there it is again, Mangini showing his own ability to kind of create something from nothing and able to scramble out of a tough situation. Does a nice job picking up the first there. And again, not taking a sack, not panicking back there, able to just flush out and pick up the first down.
That first down was presented by Performance Rehab, a proud sponsor of the St. James Academy Crimson Club. St. James needed the first down, and they got it there. Back out, going to give Tujak a carry again. Reading his blocks. He has to bounce it outside. And you want to see the run game established. They're trying, and it is just not working like it did in the first half for St. James right now.
For sure, you see there, John Tujak out on the outside, surrounded by about 4 dark jerseys. And Blue Valley West just looks to be winning every block right now. There's really nowhere for Tujak to go. That's why I said I'd like to see maybe the pass game get incorporated a little more to try to take some pressure off of the run game. A lot of times you talk about that the other way around. You run to set up the pass. Maybe St. James needs to try to pass to help set up the run.
Yeah, they're certainly playing a little closer up now are the Jaguars. It's going to be a play action on the pitch. Mangini's going to keep. He gets a couple yards. It feels like for whatever reason right now, these routes are just, maybe the routes aren't developing. Maybe the time isn't there. Maybe Mangini is bailing too early. But St. James, they're just not having much time to throw the ball downfield. And a lot of these pass plays are turning into short gains for Mangini on the ground.
For sure. When you're able to generate pressure with only 3 guys up front, instead of having to rush 4 or 5, that's huge because you can get the same amount of pressure with those more guys and still have 8 back in coverage. You saw him looking for Neeson over the middle there. Great coverage by number 5, Jack Cook.
Pass complete. That was Jet again. Well, Jet has stepped up big. That is 2 giant catches. The 3rd and 8 converted there by the junior wide receiver, and he is having a coming out party today for the Thunder.
He really is. Well, I believe you said only 26 yards on the season coming into this game. He's got to have about 30 in this game alone. So you love to see kind of them incorporating him into the offense, really moving the ball around to different weapons.
Ball at the 48. It's going to be a keep by the quarterback, Mangini. Nothing there. And it feels predictable, frankly, right now, the St. James offense. They are running every single time on first down. And like you said, maybe you use that pass game to set up the run game because it still is not working right now for St. James. Just 4 minutes left in the third quarter here. Ball is at the 48-yard line. 2 receivers on both sides. Drop back. Quick pass. Neeson, what a great catch that was. Only gained a couple. Could have been a lot worse. Coverage was tight there. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 8.
For sure, kind of a risky throw by Mangini there. Neeson does a great job of kind of stacking it out of the air away from the hands of the linebacker because one more step and that could have gone the other way for 6 with how tight that coverage was. And now here's St. James again where they don't want to be in these 3rd and long situations, not in a clear go for it on 4th down field position as well.
St. James only 6 seconds to get this play off. They got to go quick here, just 3 now. Drop back, looking downfield. Wonder as the deep route chase over the middle. It's sailed by his head. Jake Gaskell, the man in coverage. Now it's 4th and 8. You have to think the punt unit's coming on, and Boydston comes on now. He is likely going to punt it. You saw St. James fake last time. You got to think West is going to be ready for it if they do, and so probably a punt coming here.
Yeah, I think you'd be pressed to find St. James doing a fake punt twice in a row. And again, just got to give credit to this Blue Valley West secondary. They've been doing a really nice job. You saw they did there. They walked their linebackers up to show 7 guys and then dropped 3 of them back into coverage. And that could create some.
Oh, it's blocked. It's blocked, and he's returning it. Here goes West. It's going to be brought back for 6. Touchdown. It's Lawson McGraw, and things change just like that. St. James is going to go down 10. A big play by McGraw.
Really unfortunate, and again, the punting troubles for St. James just seem to continue on the season. That's just really just an unforced error, lack of blocking up front. Shouldn't really ever be having punts blocked like that, and it just makes me think, if we could have had that fumble recovery run back, this game would be so much different than it is now.
.243 left in the third quarter. PAT unit on for the Jaguars. Kick is up and true, 24-14. I got to tell you, Jonathan, this special teams unit needs to get figured out. And frankly, I just don't have much optimism it is right now with how there's been an issue every single game, it feels like, for the St. James team. And, I think it definitely is harder than it looks sometimes to block a guy on a punt or make a PAT accurately. But that has to be what you're emphasizing, I think, next week if you're St. James, because it loses football games. It really does. And, just an example there, right? You punt the ball well. You get them inside their own 30, and it's a 3-point game. Instead, now you have to send your offense, which was already tired, back on the field, down 10, feeling even more pressure. It just absolutely changes the game, and it's the mistakes you cannot have if you want to be a state champion winning team or even a respectable one.
For sure, and honestly, no one knows that special teams matters more than Blue Valley West. They won last week on a missed PAT. Blue Valley missed a PAT, and they lost by 1 point. And that's something that we've seen really throughout the season. Like you said, missed PATs. We've seen snapping issues on special teams. We've seen some issues in kickoff and kick return. It's kind of the one thing that St. James really hasn't been able to clean up as this season has gone along. And like you said, Will, you take it for granted when it's good, and then when it's not good, you realize just how detrimental it can be.
Caught at the 10, and Chase coughs it up. Let's hope this doesn't go bad. He brings it forward. Oh, here goes Chase. He's got a shot. Trucking the kicker up to the 45, and I'll tell you what, I don't think that's how St. James planned it, but it worked well. Chase with a big return for the Thunder.
Yeah, I was about to say, another just kind of special teams lapse there with the muffed kick. Chase does a really nice job squirting up the middle, able to get almost to midfield. And like you talked about earlier, Will, another drive starting with great field position for the Thunder. And down 10 at this point in the game, they've got to be able to capitalize.
Yeah, I think if you're St. James here, if I was the offensive coordinator, right, I'm looking at a big shot, play one. That's what I'd want to see, right? You're obviously don't have Chase out there, so that's harder after the return. But I think Blue Valley West has not seen that big play element that St. James has had this year. I want to see St. James try to get to that soon. They're going to go on the ground with Mangini. He's got some room to run, makes the corner miss, still only gets a couple. It's going to be second down now.
I think you made a good point, Will. Really, on every scoring drive and throughout this whole game, the deep shot hasn't been there for the Thunder. They've maybe thrown the ball downfield 10, 15 yards once or twice, but no really deep shots. I don't know if that's because it's not in the game plan. Maybe Blue Valley West is doing an extra good job covering it, but it's definitely a different dimension of this offense that has been lacking, and it's very noticeable. And like you said, what better time than early in a drive?
Yeah, especially if you have Neeson or Chase, singled up like they look like are now. You almost just want to say, go try to catch a 50-50 ball. St. James, nice pass to Wonder. Great concept there. Gets the first down, and Wonder, he fumbled on his first catch, redeems himself there with the first.
Yeah, great play call from offensive coordinator Matt Joshi. That those multiple receivers running outs on that far side really causes confusion in the secondary, especially when those receivers are running them in between levels, in between the linebackers, in between the safeties. It creates a lot of communication errors, and McGee does a nice job delivering it to Wonder.
Final 90 seconds of the third quarter here. St. James down 10, but are driving. Drops back, does Mangini. He's going for the deep ball. Here we go. It's incomplete. Just a bit overthrown, and that was very good coverage on the outside by West. Pass intended for junior wide receiver Alec Jett.
And there's a little bit of that aggression, right? I think that the coaches and the players both know that we're starting to get to the point in the game where you're going to need to score, and you're going to need to score quick. Because with how this Blue Valley West offense has looked, I think St. James is maybe feeling like we need to score so that way if they score again, we have time to get another drive or two in.
2nd and 10. Let's see if St. James goes to the run. They're going to motion out the back. It's the QB draw. Mangini darting. Look at him go. Look at his mobility. Trucking a man, too. And that is what you'll love out of the quarterback position. The dance moves and then bringing a big truck there to the West defense.
Yeah, you see how shifty Mangini is back there. Those juke moves really are lethal. Does a nice job of bouncing it outside when the first lane that he goes towards is covered. Does a great job getting out and picking up that first down. Much needed first down to get some momentum back to the St. James offense.
1st and 10 now at the 28. St. James, like you said, definitely starting to regain some of that positive momentum they had in that first quarter. Fakes the screen, looking for Chase. It's not there. Mangini blitzed, brought down, finishing the play. It's Jack Sells, the linebacker, bringing down Mangini. They tried for a deep ball there, and it wasn't open. St. James loses 5.
Bit of a costly sack there from Mangini because now probably out of field goal range would be about a 52-yarder. Probably right on the edge of Jack Bivett's range. You still got a few more downs. Obviously, you're probably going to take this to the fourth quarter and then see what you can do coming out.
24-14 is the score as we head into the fourth quarter momentarily.
Are you ready?
All right, we'd like to welcome you back into the Thunder Broadcasting Network here. Score 24, Blue Valley West, 14, St. James. St. James is driving, 2nd and 15 coming up here momentarily. This fourth quarter today is presented by Patrick Exteriors, a local family-owned business since 1996 and a proud supporter of the SJA Crimson Club. Now, St. James, this has been an absolutely wild game for, no better term really. It's been a crazy game of back and forth, so many big plays and almost big plays and missed moments and mistakes. St. James, they have an opportunity to score here. They need to take advantage. 2nd and 15, it's tough field position. They need some yards here on this first play. Ball is at the 34. Tujak motioned. Run with Mangini. Blocks got beat badly. Mangini, what a nice run that was. He got 5. The blockers didn't give him much help there, but a great run by the quarterback. Still making it a 3rd and long, but at least a little bit better for St. James.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, Will, this really has been a wild game. St. James starting out 14-0, and then Blue Valley West coming back with 24 unanswered. And this is St. James' opportunity. You got to think for the Thunder, if they don't score here, it's going to be tough for them to come back. So this really is a critical drive. Definitely 4-down territory. Need a good play here on 3rd.
Drop back. Looking is Mangini. Looking, incomplete. It goes to Chase. Man in coverage was Luke Goodale. 4th and 12. This is kind of a sneaky, tough position for St. James to be in. 4th and 12, it's difficult to convert. Going for it on the offensive end, your kicker might not have the range, but punting from this range kind of feels like a loss too. So I think St. James looks like they're going to go for it. It's a risky decision. Let's see if it pays off.
Yeah, for sure. It's tricky because also if you kick the field goal and you make it, you've still got time to get a stop and get the ball back with a chance to tie. But St. James wants to try to get back to a 3-point game early, so we'll see what they dial up here.
4th and 12, 3-man blitzing. A man spying the quarterback. He goes underneath to Chase. He has to get the first down. I think he got it. Let's see, and they did. What a play by Chase. He had a lot of yardage to get there after the completion, and he sure got it. That is what having a star wide receiver does for your team.
Absolutely. Just getting him the ball with the ability to go make the play is exactly what St. James needed, and he did. That's just the kind of trust you have. McGee does a nice job just kind of taking the check down, and then it's all Chase from there, able to pick up that yardage, fight through multiple defenders to get the first down, and to keep this drive alive, and really to keep St. James' hopes of winning this game alive.
Now in the red zone at the 18-yard line are the Thunder. 10:48 and counting. Drop back, pump fake. Incomplete. It goes to Neeson on the screen. He can't haul it in. It's going to be 2nd and 10 now for St. James. Clock stops with the incompletion.
Looked like they were trying to go deep to Chase, just a little bit of a fake to the flat, hoping to get his DB to take one step back and then allow Chase to get him over the top. But good discipline over there on that far side by the Blue Valley West secondary.
Now it's going to be a 2nd down and 10 for the Thunder. We haven't seen much of the run game after its failures early on in the half. They're going to go to it here to Tujak. Bouncing, cutting, nice run, hurdled over the pile and got 7 or 8. That's going to make it a much more manageable 3rd down now for St. James. Third and 4 at the 12 right now for the Thunder. Run and pass both in play right now for St. James, but you got to think they're going to try to go to Chase, Neeson, or Tujak, one of those playmakers here. It's going to go to Tujak. Got the first down, spin move up to the 5-yard line, and that's a first down for St. James. And now just 5 yards away from making it a one-score game.
And now we're seeing on this drive, the run game seems to be working a little bit better again. You see how that's paid off for them. They're down inside the 10-yard line for the first time in over a quarter, and they've got to be able to convert here, come away with a touchdown. You know, this is one of those areas where maybe you see a little bit of trickery. We know St. James likes to get creative in the red zone, so I wouldn't be shocked if we see a little bit. You just have to be able to punch this in for 7.
Ball at the 5. Looking over the middle. Incomplete. Tight coverage there. That was Jack North, the 5'11 senior, in coverage on Chase. It's going to be a 2nd down now.
You see Mangini looking for his first target there, Chase. Probably his favorite red zone target that we've seen this year, obviously with the 2 touchdown catches in this game already. Could be looking for a hat trick. Maybe Mangini wants to get him the ball. But going against Parker, going to Parker is never a bad idea.
2nd and goal from the 6. Rolling to his right. It's going to be a straight run with Mangini. Nothing there. Boy, they snuffed it out well. Now a difficult position for St. James. They need a touchdown here. It's going to have to probably come on this play. 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line.
You got to think they maybe have a little rollout play designed here, a little bootleg, trying to get maybe Chase or Neeson on a crosser or on a little corner route. We'll see what they dial up here.
Rolling to his left. Looking. Going back, reverse, touchdown, St. James. Brody Pregame, number 1, bringing in the catch, and St. James gets their 3rd passing touchdown of the night to make it a 4-point game.
Couldn't have come at a better time either. St. James really needed that touchdown there, gets the momentum back on their side, and a great play call. You saw they were trying to roll Mangini out to the left. Nothing really there. Does a nice job of not panicking and finding Pregame.
PAT crucial. St. James needs to make this one to get within a field goal. Snap and hold are good. Kick looks good. And it is. Okay, so St. James 3-point game here. 9 minutes left or so, maybe a little less than that. 8:46 on the clock. 3 timeouts both ways. This feels like it's anybody's game, especially if the defense can make a big stop now for St. James.
Agreed, but that's a big if, right? Mm-hmm. If the defense can make a big stop against this Blue Valley West offense that has only gotten better as the night's gone on. But like you said, if they can come up with a stop here, especially if Blue Valley West takes some time off the clock and doesn't come away with points or even a field goal, St. James might have a shot at having the last possession in this game. It's obviously a little too early to tell, but I agree with you, Will. This game is kind of anybody's game right now.
This is where I think if you're a St. James fan, you just can't help but think about 2 plays right now. The so close touchdown at the end of the first half that comes up just 5 yards short on the what would have been a 99-yard return from Max Urquette. And then that blocked punt that goes for a touchdown for West. Really, those 2 plays go any sort of different way, and St. James could be, instead of being down 3 if Urquette scores, they don't score the touchdown. A completely different result here. Could be up 10, 11 points. That just shows how closely matched these 2 teams are right now. Bevitt will be kicking off. West is ready for the onside. It would be unexpected for St. James to do that. And Myers is going to get it at the 7. Trying to go near side, down at the 24. That was Pattison and Trey Patrick making the stop for the Thunder. And that last touchdown drive was brought to you by Leavenworth Oral Surgery, a proud supporter of the SJA Crimson Club. West will start with the ball at the 25 now on the near hash. Let's see what quarterback Tate Nagy has in his bag of tricks for this drive. It's going to be a carry by Carter to start, and Urquette making a nice stop. Wero also getting a good push for St. James.
And this is what we're talking about. This is the biggest defensive drive of the night so far. Can St. James step up when the lights are the brightest? Can they get the stop when you need to hold them to points? Because if you allow them to take 4 or 5 minutes off the clock and score a touchdown, you're kind of digging your own grave at that point. They've got to be able to try to get a stop and hold them to 0 points.
Yeah, this is a West team. They've had a lot of success on offense, going pace, going tempo. They're not going to do that, trying to run this clock down a little bit. Nagy hits Myers. It's a first down. Drury brings him down. Quinn Myers is finding himself open along that sideline all night long. Now with exactly 8 minutes left, West gets their first down of the drive.
Absolutely. That's a play that we've seen multiple times tonight, just that 10, 12-yard dig route from Myers. Gets him wide open, and Nagy with great anticipation and that connection with his number 1 receiver, literally, he is number 1, and he's the number 1 receiver on the team, has gotten stronger as this night has gone on.
Fans are not happy. No St. James defenders. Looked like an offender there. It's going to be a carry by Carter. Requette, another big tackle in Requette. He's doing a nice job in the run-stopping game so far this drive against Blue Valley West.
Yeah, when you're in a moment like this, when the clock probably isn't your friend, right? When you're able to hold the other team's run game, which is the main way of wasting clock, that's exactly what you want as a defense, and force them to throw the ball, force the clock to stop when they pick up first downs.
Now going a little quicker, they're going to hit the tight end, and he gets the first down. Schreiner brings him out of bounds, but a nice game. That's Tyler Peterson, the 6'7" tight end, getting a first. Stepping out of bounds, but still 7 minutes exactly on the clock. If they take a minute per set of downs, that, is going to cause a lot of time to be elapsed off this clock. Now going back to the tempo a little bit, they're going to give to the back. Carter makes a man miss, and he is finally brought down. Schreiner making the tackle for St. James.
The St. James defense, again, we've talked about it, the bend but don't break. Now is probably the time where you try to start not breaking, right? Because if you're allowing them to get even a field goal, that forces you to get a touchdown in order to win the game. And then obviously if you give up a touchdown here, your odds at winning go way down.
15 on the play clock, 6:22 and counting left in this one. West up 3. Give to Carter. Nice read there on the carry. Gets a few. Schreiner brings him down. And on a night that is Blue Valley West's senior night, you're seeing the senior leaders on this defense, namely Max Requette and Hank Schreiner, doing their best to slow down this rushing attack for Blue Valley West.
For sure, and it is tough in the trenches, the offensive line, defensive line. It's tough down there. And when one team is able to just shed those blocks a little easier, be more physical, get off the line faster, play with a lower pad level, that's exactly what St. James needs right now because they need any advantage they can get.
4-man rush, get it out to Carter. The running back gets forward for a first down out of the backfield. Drury brings him down, but importantly, Carter making a big-time catch there, staying in bounds and getting a first down. And with 5:30 and counting left to go, Blue Valley West, this drive's kind of going exactly how they want it.
For sure, and we talked about it earlier in the game, how along with his 850 rushing yards, he's also got about 250 through the air. He has 1,100 scrimmage yards on the season for a reason. You're seeing it there. He's a great pass catcher out of the backfield, steps up when Blue Valley West needs him most.
Ball at the 38, 5:10 and counting. West up 3. A touchdown would make it real hard for St. James to come back. And nice tackle. Jordan Boone, the leading tackler for St. James, making a huge stop on the solo tackle. St. James needed that one, putting him back a couple yards, making it a 2nd and 13.
Absolutely. If you can force this Blue Valley team into negative plays, force them to, again, throw the ball, try and stop the clock. That's exactly what you want. The St. James secondary's got to be ready on these possessions, these 2nd, 3rd, and longs. They've got to tighten up their coverage, make sure every guy's accounted for, make sure that communication and passing off is flawless.
3 receivers on the left, tight end on the right. Nagy looking, has a man, it's caught. Enough for the first down again. And I got to say, every time they're throwing right now, Nagy looks like he is in such control of this offense, making the right read seemingly every time.
For sure. He does a great job of just sitting back there behind the offensive line, looks very patient. And that one, boy, that was kind of a tight window. Jordan Boone on one side, Hank Schreiner on the other, puts it right between the two. Another half second that could have been picked off. Like you said, Will, just the comfort level with which he's making these throws and sitting back in the pocket is crazy.
Bunch on the left. They're going to give to Carter. Nothing doing there. Requette brings him down. Requette has had a phenomenal drive here against this Blue Valley West run game. Now it's 2nd and 12. Now I got to say, if you're St. James, you just want to keep stopping this run game. Eventually, they're not going to complete one of these deep passes. This is the situations you want to get Blue Valley West, and now you have to stop them in the pass game.
For sure, and I think also we're kind of getting to the point in the game where you got to start thinking, if you're the Thunder, when are we going to use our timeouts, right? Because obviously you have to get them into a stopping situation.
And it's going to be caught again. Drury brings him down, but look, Goodale, the second receiver wearing number 2 out there for the Jaguars, making the play. They say didn't get the first down, so that's an interesting twist on things here. It's 3rd and half a yard or so. Inside the 20-yard line now. Jaguars desperately need this first down. They can't settle for a field goal here. 13 on the play clock, 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Give to the backup Miller. Miller got the first down and then a few more driving forward for the first. And like you mentioned, Jonathan, this is the moment I think where St. James, it would start to become reasonable to consider taking some of these timeouts.
Agreed, and really this has been some masterful clock management from the Jaguars. They knew exactly how much time was left. It was about 6.5 minutes. If they've done a great job milking the clock, but also being aggressive and picking up first downs at the same time.
Myers came in motion there. West is going to bring this clock down as low as they can. 7 seconds to call the play. Tight end in motion. Give to Miller again. Same design as the last one. He tripped himself up, only got a few. Certainly would have gotten more yards had he not fallen there. And there's that first timeout called by St. James. Head coach Tom Radke electing to call his first one here. 2:14 left. And St. James got 2 timeouts. It's going to be second and about 9 here for the Jaguars. Maybe 10 coming out.
And this is big, right? This is probably the game right here. You've got 3 timeouts. If you can stop them, force them into a field goal, you're down 21-27. Realistically, with 90, maybe 105 seconds to go, that's achievable. If you could get maybe good field position on a return, you could go down and get a touchdown, but it's got to start with a stop here. You can't allow them to pick up a first down and to milk the clock even more, especially once you're out of timeouts.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, if you're St. James, this is, like you said, this is the game. This is, it comes down to this. You got a red zone stop earlier at the end of the first half. Can you do it again here? Turnover's what you need. That's the best case scenario. If you can get a turnover here, that would be so huge for the St. James team. That's a lot to ask, though. Really, I think negative plays is what you got to look for if you're St. James. That's kind of your more realistic best case scenario, right? If they run again on second down, try to get in the backfield, force them through on third and long. If they throw the ball, try to get a sack or an incompletion. That's what you got to look for if you're St. James. The worst case scenario is they run 3, 4, 5 more plays and score the touchdown. If they get rid of all your timeouts and they score a touchdown, that pretty much ends the game. So a lot riding on these next couple plays for the defense. We'll see how both teams go here. Miller, the backup running back, is in. Carter is not in at running back. He's in. Miller gets it right up the middle. Nice gain of 7, maybe 8, right up the gut. St. James going to call that second timeout. Now an interesting decision if you're the Jaguars. It's 3rd and about 3, maybe 4. You got to think they're going on the ground here. We saw the last time there was kind of a critical play in the game, right, end of last half. They did go with a little bit of a trick play, put in Jack Cook, number 5, one of their slot backs, put him at quarterback, put him in the wildcat spot. It did not work. So I think St. James, you have to be on the lookout at least for Blue Valley West to get a little funky here on this 3rd down.
And I think you've just really got to stall whatever run play it is at the line. You can't allow them to get 3-4 yards upfield before you make contact. That's kind of a theme we've talked about this whole season. You've got to hit them early and you've got to get them down at that first contact. And if they do elect to pass it and try and roll out Nagy, try and let them create to seal the game, the secondary's coverage has got to be there. You've got to be – this has to be the best defensive rep, the best defensive play, these next 2 of the game.
Yeah, really of the year if you're St. James. I mean, this is the defense has not been in this big of a spot. Really, no part of the team's been in this big of a spot at a point this late in the game. They have to make the stop here. 3rd and 5. It's a tight formation. Myers in motion to his left. Rolling is Nagy. Oh, he's got room to run. He's not going to take it. Dancing. Dreiling almost gets him. It's caught. It looks like, no, it's incomplete. Okay, so that is huge for St. James. Not only does that mean West does not gain any yards, it also means the clock stops at 1:59. St. James saves their timeout, and now the field goal unit comes on for Blue Valley West.
Yeah, it really is a huge incompletion there. The clock stopping really playing in St. James's favor, because now if they hit this, you've got 2 minutes and a timeout to go the length of the field to score, and that's about as good of a possibility as you're going to get.
Joey Svobada on for the kick here. It's going to be about 25-yard attempt. St. James, they got a piece of it. It still went through. Wow. They did their job, man. The defense got a piece of it, and it just goes right through the uprights. That is so unlucky for St. James.
I know. I mean, blocking a field goal and it's still going in, I mean, that's almost unheard of. And to think back how we had that punt blocked, it just stings that we couldn't get them back with a block of our own. But still, again, minute 55, timeout, probably 70 yards to go. This has to be the best offensive drive really of the season to get ready here to try to win this game.
Absolutely, and this is where, again, field position matters. The fact that Blue Valley West's kickers can't kick the ball very far helps St. James a lot. It's going to potentially give St. James 5 to 10 more extra yards they wouldn't have had otherwise. So big kickoff here for field position as we enter in on the last 2 minutes of this game. St. James does have that one timeout. They'll have to be wise in how they use that as well. They're bringing Lawson McGraw back out to kick. He got it to about the 5 last time. Let's see if he can do it again here. Low kick, line drive, and it's going to go out back the end zone. So really solid kick there by the junior Lawson McGraw. It's going to go at the 20, and, St. James just a little unfortunate they hadn't kept the starter at that position in there after his lesser attempts compared to McGraw. But now St. James offense has to find a way to put some points on the board. Biggest drive of the year, like we've said, minute 55, one timeout. Certainly possible for St. James to get a win here, but they have to play really good football.
Absolutely. They've got to take care of the ball, obviously, and they can't have negative plays. Those negative plays really hurt, especially when the clock is against you. You need to go kind of fast. You need to make sure you're getting positive yardage every play and getting out of bounds when you can.
3 on the right. Man singled up at the bottom. Wonder in motion, and I think somebody moved on St. James's side. I believe that might have been Nate Bright, the lineman for St. James, filling in very well for Luke Neff. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and those are the mistakes you can't have. You're already backed up to your 15. You're just making it harder on yourself at this point. And that certainly has to change how offensive coordinator Matt Joshi is planning on calling both this play and the next one if they go hurry up straight into the next play. They're running a similar set to what they had last time, 3 on the left and 1 at the top of your screen. Rolling to his left. He's got Wonder. Tried to go to Neeson. Overthrown. Airmailed there from McGeeney. It's going to be 2nd down and 15. Looked like a little bit of jitters there from the junior quarterback.
Yeah, I just overthrew Neeson a little bit. Again, I do like the play call there, the flood with multiple levels over there to that left side, because if you're catching it, it's probably a 7-8 yard completion, and you're getting out of bounds. So it's a great play call, trying to get it toward outside the numbers to try to avoid using that last timeout early and keep the clock stopped.
2nd and 15 now. 3 on the right, 1 on the left. Man in motion, 2 seconds to go. Looking is Mangini. He's going to jet. It's picked off. Lawson McGraw picking it off for Blue Valley West. And that almost for sure will seal it.
That's a great read there by McGraw. He's kind of seen what they do. I mean, what St. James wants to do. He knows they want to try to get it outside those numbers, knows they probably have multiple levels there. He saw McGeeney on that last one skip that first level and go for that second one. Just reads it perfectly. McGeeney doesn't see him, and that, like you said, Will, probably seals the game.
Believe if I'm doing the math right, they still got to get a 1st down here. So, it's not impossible, but they are in field goal range at this point. You would think, at least for a normal team, they would be. Their kickers can't kick it very far. We've seen that pretty consistently throughout the night. So maybe if you stop them here, you force them to kick the field goal, they might miss it. It's not impossible, but getting a 1st down, that really would end it. They're going to give to their Carter at running back. Definitely could have been a penalty on the O-line there that goes uncalled. St. James has to use their final timeout after a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6 now for Blue Valley West.
And like you said, Will, I think short of a turnover here, it's going to be very tough for St. James to win this game. Maybe at best case scenario, you're hoping for another fumble and hopefully a big run back. Now, those are unlikely, even though we already did see it once.
Sure
Could
did.
happen again.
Yeah, I think if you're St. James, you got to tell your guys go for the ball. I think that's the big thing here. If you're St. James, you got to go for the ball. You got to try to punch it out. And obviously, I think Blue Valley West knows that. They're probably going to tell their guys, whether it's Carter, Miller, or even Nagy, the quarterback, you have to protect the ball. Go two hands, run slower if it means you're protecting that football, because that has to be the most important thing right now for Blue Valley West. And obviously St. James as well. The only real shot you have, unless you get a couple big stops, is forcing a fumble. So both teams know what they want to do here. Let's see who executes better these last couple of plays. Minute 39 is on the clock. St. James is out of timeouts now. West has 3 if they were to need them. They're going to kneel here. They're going to be able to get this down to about 20 seconds or so, if I'm doing my math correctly here. At which point you'd probably expect them to call the timeout and then kick the field goal, try to end the game there. It's a conservative choice for the Jaguars, and yeah, they must not have been thinking through their decision-making much at all, going with the kneel there, because now they're going to run a play. 3 seconds left. Give to Miller. Let's see, can he get the first? Oh, he is really close. That push, I think, ended him just a little bit short, maybe a half yard short of the line to gain. Line to gain was the 15. They marked him at the 16, so 4th and 1. There's about a 14-second difference between the play and game clock here, so even if West weren't able to get the first down or convert the field goal, it would probably be less than 10 seconds that St. James would have to go near the length of the field to get the game-winning touchdown. I got to think if you're West, you're probably just calling a timeout here. We got 7 seconds left. You got to think they're going to try a hard count and then probably call the timeout. Let's see what they do. They are going to snap it. They're giving to Miller. Let's see. It's close. I don't think he got there. He didn't get there. They marked him short, so 9 seconds left. The only real chance of life St. James had outside of the turnover is right here. You remember, Jonathan, a few weeks ago, Blue Valley Northwest, we saw a very dramatic and certainly tiring play where St. James had one play pretty much left in the game, and they decided to go lateral the ball back and forth across the field. It took, over 3 minutes of real time and seemed like it ended forever. St. James, they might have to do that here because you're not expecting a kid at the high school level to throw it the length of the field. It's probably hard to expect him to run the length of the field with just one guy. So I think laterals are probably what you're looking at right now if you're St. James. Maybe a quick play and then a lateral.
Yeah, I agree. I think you've maybe got one play to try to get a little more yardage back, and then it's just free-for-all out there trying to do what you can.
Oh, no, you have to get rid of the ball here. Get rid of it. Throw the ball. Oh, no, they're going laterals. Cantu falls on it, and that is it. And just not great awareness there from the junior quarterback of the game situation. So St. James will fall to the Jaguars, 27, Blue Valley West 21, St. James. Obviously a sad effort there in a game that really was defined by crazy plays, only a couple plays away from St. James getting a different result. Now we bring it into the booth here. I'm Will Nichols alongside Jonathan May. Tough loss for St. James Academy, 27-21. What do you think you kind of take away from this game heading into playoffs now, Jonathan?
I think it's just the fact that St. James needs to stay on the gas when they get a lead, right? They were up 14-0 in the first quarter, ended up giving up 24 unanswered, and then you lose the game 27-21 as your final score. So they've got to find a way to take what's been working in the first quarter and allow it to continue to work even once the defense makes an adjustment, because we saw a good first quarter and then really kind of a stagnant rest of the game from the offense, and the defense as well had a solid first quarter, and then you started to see those cracks towards the second half. So if they can just clean that up and have one full effort throughout the whole game, that's exactly what you're looking for.
Absolutely. Tough game for St. James, 27-21. They fall to Blue Valley West. We'd like to thank everyone that worked on our production tonight, everybody behind the scenes helping us out. Very excited. Hopefully we'll be broadcasting next week. Be sure to tune in to TBN Game Day Live at 6:30 before the game at 7, assuming that those are the times the game is played. For Jonathan May, I'm Will Nichols. Thank you for watching tonight, and go Thunder.
This broadcast is a product of St. James Academy. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures and accounts of this Thunder Broadcasting Network production without the express written consent of St. James Academy is prohibited.